Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwa sálára àgbáyédá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó dorí kodò bí àdán ọ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbó Odùduwà.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Alárẹ̀mí ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọlọ́lá gbajúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Alárẹ̀mí, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa dé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ kájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o, tó ń kan kí oko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbédá ní, òtítọ́ lágbédá ní.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódìkẹta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
bringing work closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia is around
To give us latest.
Is around
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Koikimedia.
Koikimedia, we bring
Oṣade ọmọ ẹkùn náà dà ọmọ ẹkùn náà rè.
Okay, a very good evening and welcome as we're just getting started with our program tonight. Let's listen to this.
Ọmọ ẹkùn náà dà ọmọ ẹkùn náà rè. Àgàgà ọmọ tó ti ga ọ̀rẹ́ àti bàbá mi fẹ́. Ẹ̀bà mi rin ẹ̀sán gbóhùn ẹ̀yìn. Sunday kò ṣá owó bírí. Ẹ̀bà mi rin ẹ̀sán gbóhùn ẹ̀yìn. Ọmọdé ẹmọ tẹ̀lé ẹ ó kọjá kéré ní. Nìkan kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ràgò ó ṣá. Ẹ bá ti rí oyè àgò ó ṣá. Mẹ́kùtò fi torí ó ṣá. Mẹ́kùtò fi tìrù ó ṣá. Nínú àwọn tó ń ṣàdá ní Sunday Igboho ó ṣá. Akọni ọmọ ìsàlẹ̀ jẹ́jọ́ bá jẹ́ májà tó lá. Kó bàjẹ́ kó tẹ̀rùn ẹni apátápárá. Òṣà tó ń para ẹ̀ lájú bá. Ó kọjá ọkùnrin mẹ́ta, kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ọkùnrin mẹ́sàn-án. Sunday lọkùnrin gàgà tó mọ́. Ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òkè ayé ó ṣe ń fi kan gún ọ lójú, ó fi kan gún ọ lẹ́nu, ọ̀kan tó kù ló fi gún ọ lọ́nà fún. Oníwẹ̀ ọmọ aládìbò, oníwẹ̀ ọmọ adé ẹmọ. Ẹbẹ́ yìí lọmọ orí adé ọmọ kẹ̀ láwẹ̀. Ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta ó lè ṣe lójúde Yorùbá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ọ̀pọ̀ tó mi lè ṣe lálọ́, ọ̀pọ̀ sì kọ́ mi lè ṣe lábọ̀. Ẹ̀kẹta nígbà tí mi ò mọ̀ níbi mo wà lálàdé àdínkù. Mo ní mo mórí adé lọ́mọ lásẹ̀gí. Orí adé ọmọ aládé ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lòrò olúwa fún wọn tó kún bọ̀ wá bò ṣá. Ọmọládé ìlàdé ládé. Ọjọ́ tára fi hàn ládé ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ gbọ̀ngàn. Ṣèbádé aládìkú làgbà. Wọ́n láàfin tí bàbá dẹ̀ fi ń ṣọ́gà. Ọmọdé ẹmọ ọmọ aládé ìdìbò ọmọ ọba. Ẹ̀bà mi rin ẹ̀sán gbóhùn mi. Sunday kò ṣá owó bírí. Ẹ̀bà mi rin ẹ̀sán gbóhùn mi. Ọmọdé ẹmọ tẹ̀lé ẹ ó kọjá kéré ní. Nǹkan kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ràgò ó ṣá. Ẹ bá ti rí oyè àgò ó ṣá. Mẹ́kùtò fi torí ó ṣá. Mẹ́kùtò fi tìrù ó ṣá. Nínú àwọn tó ń ṣàdá ní Sunday Igboho ó ṣá. Akọni ọmọ akọni ìsàlẹ̀ jẹ́jọ́ bá ta. Àdìgbò lajú aṣọ náà. Ó kọ́ àlọ́ kan. Ó jí wa dìde. Nígbà tí gbogbo Yorùbá ń sìn lọ. Lójú àdìde. Ẹ wá rí pé akọni òòṣà ọmọ ọwọ́ gidi lídà gidi ni tó yẹ ká mọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ bí. Mo tún kí ẹ délé òdélé aláàbò. Ṣèbẹ́yìn lọ́mọ àwọn ọmọ ju ẹ̀dá. Ta ló fẹ́ wò lójú? Àgbòyàn olóko dànù kò lè ṣàgẹ̀mọ́. Ṣèbẹ́yìn lọ́mọ àgbò kò yí kíkì lájà. Bá ọba mi ló pe bàrà bí ẹni tí ò lálàjá. Ekun bẹ nílé ọmọdé mọ́, òkú bẹ lẹ́kùn ọmọ sọ ẹgbà sílẹ̀. Lẹ́bàá mi ni ẹ̀ṣà gbóhùn èyí tó lè kó ṣá ohun òbí èyí lẹ́bàá mi ni ẹ̀ṣà gbóhùn èyí. Ọmọdé ẹmọ tẹ̀lé ẹwọ kọjá kéré ní. Ṣé nìkan kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ràgò ó ṣá? Ẹ bá ti rí ó yẹ ràgò ó ṣá. Mẹ́fù tó fi torí ó ṣá. Mẹ́fù tó fi tìrù ó ṣá. Nínú àwọn lórí ṣàdá ní Sunday Igboho ó ṣá. Akọni owó ìsàlẹ̀ gbẹ̀dọ̀gba tán.
Ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ajẹ́pẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àgbẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlẹ̀ tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ́ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi. Sunday Igboho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Again. No going back. Igboho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Oodua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction. And there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
If I may just...
IGBOHO,
yes.
who was also arrested,
right.
I've written severally on it, that he should also, because his determination for Oduduwa Republic is not a crime known international law.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to raise with you. If it were not signaled to non-state actors and other ethnic agitators that they can actually go ahead, in the event that President Muhammadu Buhari really responds to your appeal.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You and I, we are living in Nigeria. You are talking about harmless people who are not armed. Are you not aware that in this country, some Boko Haram, some people accused of Boko Haram were released and traded for others by way of a quid pro quo? They say, okay, release some of us, then we will release some of your detained citizens. Are you not aware that that has gone on in this country? So what is the bad precedent of saying a non-violent person should be released from detention, from illegal detention, a detention that the United Nations has been found to be illegal and to be unconstitutional and to be torturous? I do not see anything that is setting any bad precedent there in a situation where as a matter of fact, some Boko Haram and armed bandits are being released in exchange for some of their members, where kidnappers are demanding from parents of children they have kidnapped to buy tarodo, tatashe, tomatoes, vegetable oil, palm oil, uba, to buy salt, to buy rice, for them, beans, yams, for them to feed their children so as to keep them alive, to enable the parents pay ransom for them. What is the long precedent here that we are just saying, find a political solution by going through the tenets and the provisions of the law? I do not personally see anything wrong with that at all, and there's none that I know of. And I cannot see it leading to any floodgate or any resurgence by other people coming to say, criminals coming to say, oh, you must also give me reprieve. It does not happen that way. How many Nnamdi Kanus do you have in Nigeria? And how many Sunday IGBOHOs do you have in Nigeria? These are people who have carried the specter of their people on their heads, and they have become a metaphor for their self-determination struggle.
Other countries were refused at first, but we have to remember, and this is a really important point, that self-determination is an inalienable international right and a law as well. And other countries will recognise Scotland's democratic choice expressed at the ballot box. They will recognise that because that is the route that many other countries have taken in order to become independent. And just to make that point, that international law is very pragmatic on that point, so we should have confidence in that.
Happy Sunday and welcome to Sunday, the 27th day of August 2023. Moki Obeledumari, Moki Anobi Muhammad, Moki gbogbo tí olúkálùkù wa bá gbàgbọ́ lé lórí. Mo kí àwọn kérúbù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àwọn sẹ̀lẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn redeem, mo kí KICC, mo kí gbogbo àwọn sálátù tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo àgbáyé, mo wá kí gbogbo àwọn ọba wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo kí Elédùmarè pé àtúnláǹfààní àti tí wàá darapọ̀ mọ́ ètò ti alẹ́ yìí. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí KOIKIMEDIA, níbi tí a ti máa ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá ọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé àwa kan sọ pé sẹ́ ìtàn ń pè ní Nàìjíríà kò ń ṣe ìlú tí a lè máa sọ pé a tún fẹ́ tẹ̀lé mọ́. Bí a ti ṣe fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò náà, mo fi ọba Elédùmarè síwájú, mo kí gbogbo ẹlẹ́sìn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta, mo kí bàbá dáadáa tó ń bẹ ní Benin Republic tó ń jẹ́ Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè, the oracle of our time. Bí mo ti ṣe ń kí yín dáadáa, mo kí Ọlọ́run tí ó fi ẹ̀mí sí yín lára títí di wákàtí, nítorí pé ẹ̀yin làwa ń rí níwájú tí ọkàn wa ń balẹ̀. Nígbà tá a bá ti ń rí yín, a mọ̀ pé kò sí ewu rárá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí bàbá wa Bánjí Ayílóge, Chief Bánjí Ayílóge, mo kí YSDF, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi nínú Global Directorate. I had the privilege to attend their meeting yesterday and it was fantastic. I do encourage gbogbo wa pé tá a bá ti ń rán àwọn Zoom link yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa attend àwọn meetings yẹn. Inú ẹ̀ náà láti máa béèrè ìbéèrè tẹ́ máa ń bi mí pé Kóìkì, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀, níbo la báṣẹ́ dé, àti pé kí ló ń lọ nínú Yorùbá nation. Gbogbo ẹ ti dákẹ́ rọ́rọ́, ṣé torí pé Tinubu ti débẹ̀, ṣé Tinubu lè defend the border ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí láṣálẹ́ yìí. Mo wá kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ dáadáa, nítorí pé tó bá jẹ́ pé nígbà tí wọ́n lóyún mi wọ́n ti jù dànù síbì kan, ó ṣeé ṣe kí n má wà lórí ìjókòó báyìí. So ẹ yẹ ká máa dúpẹ́ fún irú ìyá náà. Bí bá ti ṣe wá ń kí ìyá mi, mo kí àwọn ìyàwó mi dáadáa, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àwọn ọmọ. Mo wá sínú ilé, mo wá kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin lólùfẹ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń béèrè pé àbárákùnrin yóò ní jáde ní Sunday, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ Kentos Àbẹ̀bí, ẹ jẹ́ ń lo glasses mi kí n ké dáadáa torí pé ká kọ́kọ́ kíra wa. Mo ò lójú glasses, ó ti dọ̀tí díẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí MixLR. We are fully on our transmission. We are transmitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost 7 different platforms ni a ti ń stream. Our live lórí Twitter ní KOIKIMEDIA. Our live lórí YouTube KOIKIMEDIA. Our live lórí Facebook méjì, KOIKIMEDIA Odùduwà àti KOIKIMEDIA. I do not have Ọláyọmí Kóìkì as a Facebook page. Tó bá lọ bá pàdé, èmi kọ́ mo ní. But mo ní TikTok tó ń pè ní KOIKIMEDIA. Mo ní Instagram tó jẹ́ Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. Nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò yìí ni wọ́n ti gbé Facebook Ọláyọmí Kóìkì lọ. Nígbà tí iṣẹ́ ń lọ dáadáa lórí ẹ̀, àwọn kan ní kò táwọn lọ́rùn. Mo kí cousin mi wà látà torí pé àjọ ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí náà ni. Mo kí ẹ Azeez nílùú Amẹ́ríkà. Mo kí gbogbo yín dáadáa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí kọ́kọ́ kí yín Kúnlé Bakers. Mo kí ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ níbi tí èmi wà. Èmi á máa sọ pé ẹ káàsán ní ọ̀dọ̀ tí yín lọ́hùn. I continue to pray for you and I hope gbogbo ohun tó ń lọ ní gbogbo àgbáyé, iná bá bẹ̀rẹ̀, Ọlọ́run má jà rí ogun iná, ẹni tó bá kàn ló mọ̀ ni. Bó ṣe wá ń kí ẹ̀yin ti Manchester, mo kí yín lọ sí gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá wà. Bàbá wa Bóyè Máyùgbà, wọ́n ní solution náà ní Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n ní àwọn Yorùbá politician àtàwọn leaders wa, they must set Yorùbá free. Failure will not be good for the future. Future náà mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa border. Ó ṣeé ṣe pé ìwọ tí ò ń travel, you might be affected from next year. Mo sọ fún ẹ pé orí KOIKIMEDIA ní international platform kó lè tètè mọ bí ìwọ tó níwèé gan tó bá fẹ́ rìnrìn àjò kan ní next year, you might likely be at advantage to listen to this. Bí tí mo ṣiṣẹ́ ń kí bàbá wa Bóyè, mo kí gbogbo àwọn KOIKIMEDIA team, mo kí ìyàwó Teresa, mo kí ìyàwó mi lẹ́ǹkan sí, mo kí ìjáyà asọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, mo kí ẹ̀yin ti Manchester dáadáa, mo kí yín, mò ń bọ̀ láìpẹ́ yìí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń béèrè pé Kóìkì ìjọ́ ò ló ń bọ̀ gan ní Birmingham, ìjọ́ ò ló ń bọ̀ ní state báyìí, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà a máa plan ẹ̀ náà ni. Ó ti jẹ́ kí n máa káàkiri, kí n wá bá yín kájọ pàdé ní coffee shop. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tẹ̀ fi mú nǹkan wá fún mi, ẹ lè mú wá bẹ́ẹ̀. Bó jẹ́ dáadáa lẹ fẹ́ mú wá ni ẹ mú wá bẹ́ẹ̀, bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ burúkú náà ni ẹ mú pàdé mi níbẹ̀. Kò sẹ́nì kankan tí mo bẹ̀rù àfọba tó dá mi. Ẹ gbìyànjú ni, àmọ́ nígbà tí bá ti mọ̀ pé tí mo gbé dání ẹ̀mí kan mo fi ń ṣe. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ fáwọn tí mo ní lẹ́yìn pé àwọn náà dákẹ́. Mo kí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ GR1. Mo ń bọ̀ lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Mo kí Àjàyí Gabriel, mo kí bàbá wa Táíwò, mo kí Kẹ́hìndé Adéyẹmí, mo kí Barry White, mo kí Government in Exile of the Biafra, Simon Ekpa, Salute all the way from here. I shout out to all the Biafra, Pastor Vam Vam. I saw Pastor Vam Vam lára àwọn Biafra media. He posted something some few hours ago. Ẹran tíjọ́ tí àwọn Finnish police tí wọ́n pe Simon Ekpa. I could be called as well anytime. Kódà tí ọlọ́pàá bá wá sínú ilé mi gan ni màá kọ́kọ́ upload ẹ̀ pé ọlọ́pàá ti wá sínú ilé Koiki ó kẹ́lẹ́ wà where. There's nothing wrong in that because ìtagbé dání is not terrorism. Ìtí mo gbé dání kò ń ṣe terrorism, but we could be called for questioning. Maybe for reason known to them that maybe some kind of information they want to extract from us. Simon Ekpa was called for questioning. I'm sure gbogbo ilẹ̀ rántí ìgbà yẹn. Ọmọ Igbo wá ń celebrate pé wọ́n mú Simon Ekpa. Òun náà ń gbé ní Finland. Ó ní thank God, thank God. I'm sure some of you are waiting for that day. Somebody like us. Kí ló fẹ́ máa sọ ẹ jẹ́ kó shut up ẹnu ẹ̀. Ó yẹ kó ti mú gan ní London. Kí ló dé tó mú? One thing is, kí n tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation ni mo ti ń bá UK fa wàhálà lórí immigration. And wàhálà tíyàn fà, wọ́n sì ló jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé ẹni tó bá bí sí ìlú kan, you will likely go through immigration. Immigration ò dẹ̀ ṣe disease. Tí wọ́n ní immigration, ó tètè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ fún yàn kan tó wọ́n fi pamọ́ home office. Nígbà kan wọ́n náwọn kan débẹ̀, èmi lè débẹ̀ ní sí torí pé ọkàn wa balẹ̀. Nígbà táwọn parents wa dé in the 90s, home office is not a place that anybody wants to travel to. But today, I go there in Croydon. Nítorí pé we fought to be able to stay in this country. And for 25 years, next month, ó máa pé 25 years that I arrived in this country in 1998. I give glory to Almighty Elédùmarè. I give glory to Almighty God. Mo dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run ọba pé nígbà tí mo ti wà níbí báyìí for 25 years, mo ò ṣe jura mi lọ. Mo sọ pé torí pé kò sówó lápò mi in 25 years àbí torí pé mo níwèé, because at some point you will not be able to do certain things. You will be able to do certain things but you cannot travel. So for 15 years I couldn't travel to Nigeria. So tó bá wá fi pé torí mo ń pariwo Yorùbá nation, ìyẹn ló máa wá mú British government knows I'm inside the country. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n prepare fún when you are about to travel next year? That is the conversation tonight. Because everybody will be affected from next year with this kind of topic I want to talk about. Whether you are a Nigerian, whether you have a British passport, especially because British have left the European Union in 2016. So that means that you will be affected as a British passport holder. Whether you are an American, it does not matter. As long as you are in European country, you might likely still be also affected. Kí ló ń pè ní border? Shout out to you, Mr. David. Mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń disagree pẹ̀lú wa. I live in a society where you must accept feedback. But tẹ́ bá ti wá ń lọ síbi pé ẹ̀ ń bú bàbá Akíntóyè àbí Ìgbòho, á ṣe pé ẹ ti ń kọjá àyè yín. Torí wọ olórí burúkú tó kọ email sí mi, ó tún wá reply me again. Ó tún wá bú bàbá Akíntóyè. I can tell that ẹlẹ́pọ̀n blue ni ẹ because some of you can only talk. Ní balls bí bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho. I've actually blocked you so you will not be able to send another email to me because I don't need such email from you idiot. Ẹlẹ́pọ̀n blue ọkùnrin ni ẹ, ìwọ ò lè lọ sísàlẹ̀ kí ìwọ náà ṣàyà gbangba bí Ìgbòho ó lead wa ní rally. I'm sure tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé abroad ló wà ní ìwọ náà wá lead wa náà. Tẹ́ bá sọ pé Ìgbòho àti bàbá Akíntóyè mọ̀ ṣe, why don't you come out and do it? Idiot. Oníkẹ́mi lọ apologize àti bàbá Akíntóyè ó tẹ̀ tún ní God ó tún reply. I'm sure you are watching me now. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ wá wo program mi because this is where the authentic information when it comes to international policy, when it comes to diplomacy, kò tí sí media náà gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ tó lè compete pẹ̀lú mi when it comes to what is happening around the world. Ibi tẹ́tí máa gbọ́ lélẹ̀. Not that I'm disputing what they are doing, but when it comes to international and foreign policy, ibi ìbàlẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ èmi ní international media Yorùbá nation kò tí sí bá bá nú wọn gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ because mo mọ tí mo ń ṣe. I know how many hours I spend to come out and give you something that you can take home. I'm talking about the border. How our border has been left open while international border continue to close the gap. Mo kí bàbá wa Kẹ́hìndé Òsénì, Mr. Patrick's, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram, mo kí gbogbo àwọn pastor, mo kí àwọn wòlíì, mo kí gbogbo babaláwo lẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kí ní Benin Republic Ìgbòho ṣá mo gbà fún ẹ délẹ̀ ibikíbi tó bá ti ló ti yá ó ti yá náà nìyẹn. Mo sọ fún ẹ pé 48 hours tó bá ti fún mi ní deadline pé Koiki ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ I will be on the ground. Most of my yet on social media. I want to be a journalist that will be on the ground to represent the Yoruba people at the appropriate time. Come back home. I don't have to come back home now because there's nothing to come back for. I don't have anything to do at all. My messages travels around the world because I know they are listening. Mokia, just reason. Shout out to those of you. We are just prepping the conversation for tonight. So, Moki gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí. Ní kí ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí lọ́sàn-án. You'll be surprised that I only just come across that information less than 20 minutes before I started the program. And I thought, ó dà pé topic ló yẹ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. I go on Twitter a lot. And from there, I pick up information. And sometimes information will link you to another information. And I saw something and I said, while the world is preparing to make sure that no terrorists or drug dealers or smugglers or people that we are not aware of will come into their country, they are closing the gap on every one of us. Somebody like me, my fingerprint is with the British government. So I am not new to you living in a society like this where your fingerprint is with them. But what about you? Are you prepared for such? That is why we are saying that Yoruba land is in danger. Because Nigeria cannot have the capacity to get all our fingerprints, whether those that wants to come in and capture it, so that when they commit a crime, we can link that crime back to that fingerprint. Kò sí bó ṣe lè jẹ́ fingerprint kò lè dọ́gba, kò ń dọ́gba, ìtọ́ṣe ń pè ní fingerprint nìyẹn, kò kí ń dọ́gba. You get your pen and paper and you sit down, ẹgbómi sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹni popcorn, èmi náà ní tẹnu mi bá fẹ́ wọ́tìrì díẹ̀, èmi náà ní kankan tí mo lè fi sẹ́nu. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok. Àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. I'm not here to talk to. I don't even have the time to read your comment today because I don't want to be distracted. Because ọlọ́pọlọ mo fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀. Do you think that the question tí mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ bí? Do you think that Nigeria will be able to defend and protect our border within the next 8 years? That is the first question. Do you think? Ìbéèrè ni mò ń béèrè. I don't know. Ǹjẹ́ rò pé in 8 years from today, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ilẹ̀ Igbo, ilẹ̀ Hausa, they can protect that border so that every one of us will be safe and everybody will be secure? Do you think it can happen? I want to read your comment. Maki gbogbo ìtókù dáadáa. The program has started now. Mo ń béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ǹjẹ́ rò pé within the next 8 years, we can protect our borders, whether the smallest border, whether it is the big border, whether it is even the airport, because we can see that they are doing a lot by stopping people that want to take cocaine and drugs from the airport. I think I saw a South African was stopped at Abuja airport. Maybe because àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ sanwó tó pọ̀, because we know that there are some people using that same route. Our money kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún wa. We know that those ones that they are showing you is because they need that for publicity stunts. But there are some drug dealers that are still using the Abuja airport and the Lagos airport. They know that. But they must also show Nigerians that they are working so that the government budget will continue through the NDLEA. Ẹ rántí pé wọ́n bá drug ní Kòròdú. There's so much of drugs in Nigeria. I listen and I follow my beautiful sister, Dr. Kemi Oluloyo. Tẹ́ bá mọṣẹ́ tí drug ń ṣe lílé ayé àwọn èèyàn tó ń ba ayé àwọn èèyàn jẹ́, ẹ lọ sí America. You will see it there. There's a video there that trends all the time. Ó wà ní America. Ó máa ń ba ayé jẹ́ ni. Mo rí máa kan, ẹ máa rí wọn big boy. Ìyẹn tẹ̀ bá ṣe mọ́tò àwọn NDLEA. I'm sure you all saw it. It's on the social media. We are not talking about terrorists alone now. We are talking about somebody that can come in and kill somebody and leave Nigeria and nobody knows níbo ló ti wá, ọ̀nà wo ló gbà jáde. That is why there's so many deaths that we cannot trace back because we don't have a database. So today, mo fẹ́ sọ Kí làwọn Europeans ń prepare for next year? While we are there, still talking about one stupid entity called Nigeria. There are some people that don't call Nigeria like that. It's our country. You are stupid yourself, because as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing called Nigeria, because that government cannot protect you, not even protect the next generation. Border ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. For some of us that have had the privilege, I mean, it took me 15 years after I arrived in 1998 to step outside the UK. And that was a trip that my mom organized so that I can meet my younger brother in Dubai. After 15 years, Dubai láti lọ pàdé. Because what? Fún òun ní visa láti wá sí UK. And the visa is getting difficult every day, every now and then. Èmi lọ ṣe interview ni. A lot of you that have been able to travel after I left Nigeria, you were just doing a drop-off. I went to Abuja to attend an interview. But it's not about leaving Nigeria on a visa. It is when you get here, you realize that there is another thing called immigration. And the moment you start the process of immigration, at some point, they need to know more about you, and they will call you for questioning. What do you, and the reason why you want to stay here. And that took me 15 years. And in that process, my fingerprint is with them. Not because I've committed any crime, but because that is the process of living in this country. If I say I don't want them to take my fingerprint, they will tell me to go back to Nigeria. So you must be prepared. When you see and so, the Nigeria you are seeing today, more people will die because we do not have a system that can protect and defend us, especially by capturing many people. Especially many people from different African countries that walked into Nigeria. Some of them are there to survive, but some of them are not there to survive. They are there to add more to our problem. How do we know them? How do we stop them? So if you think that the European countries are stupid, they are not stupid. They are upgrading every now and then, and that is part of what I'm going to be discussing this evening. I'm going to share the little I've learned. Like I said, I only come across information in just less than 20 minutes before I went live. I just read a little bit, bam, 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 bam. I went on the social media, I put it on Google, it brought out certain things I need, and I'm preparing that at the back end, which I'm going to open in a minute. I use OBS for my own streaming. So in case maybe you are thinking, I'm like it's streaming, but boy, it's OBS. There's different ones, but I use OBS. It's free, but I pay for certain things as well. MixLR. I say good evening and welcome to the conversation. Comrade Plan B, welcome. We have 6 people that are listening to us on the MixLR. Akin Games, good evening to you. My name is Olamileka. And like I said, I am the international media for Yoruba Nation. Taban sọ̀rọ̀ nípa border. Do you think that Ondo State is the picture Akeredolu? Why is it that Ondo State has been one of the most dangerous spots for terrorists? Different activities, because that border has a lot of link to different. I'm sure I am not from Ondo State, but if I be lọ́wọ́ àwọn Ondo ní sí pé border mélòó ló wọnú Ondo State, I want to read from the comment section. Dizzy Man 123, shout out to you. Wasiu Jinadu, good evening. Ẹni Ọlọ́run dá, good evening to you. Mokiyawa Susan Awoniyi, Mr. Clement. How many people, shout out to those of you on the TikTok as well. I respect you all and I say good evening to you. Border mélòó lẹ fi pò wọnú Ondo State? How many? I want to have an idea. I don't know, so that I can write it down. Border, because Ondo State is where we've been hearing a lot of activities of criminality. There's so many Fulani, even Yoruba people, Igbo people, Hausa people. There's so much crime going on in Ondo State. I am using Ondo State as my own iMac today. How many border lẹ́rù pé wọnú Ondo State? Ayọ̀míkún Dáméjì, good evening to you. Downtown Los Angeles, downtown New York, Washington are all drug haven to crackhead. Mokiyawa Veronica Bamidele, Mr. Azan Owolabi, Mr. Olanrewaju Larry. Emma Bino, I just have to shout out to those of you, but I don't want to be saying that because I want the program to continue. Makibu way properly, Dada. Border mélòó lẹ fi pò wọnú Ondo State? I am not talking about Nigeria now. I am using Ondo State. How many border lẹ fi pé èèyàn lè gbà wọnú Ondo láti ta? Méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn-ún, mélòó? At least we must have people that have studied in Ondo State. We must have people that have married to Ondo people. I've been to Akoko, and that's all I know. I've been to Ondo State maybe twice. I think we traveled through that route. Momo, we are not talking about Abuja here because I don't know much about the road network in Nigeria. But how many borders? Look, Ondo Koja. All right, let's go ahead. Now we're gonna open something that I want to first focus on. Kí làwọn European country, what is their plan? What are they preparing for everybody next year? It does not matter whether you are from that state, whether you are a European or not. But what they are doing next year, we are in 2023, right? So from 2024, there will be a lot of changes if you are traveling through European countries. I'll be telling you about that now. So as you can see in front of you, I'm going to read it out because those on Instagram, I cannot show you the screen because every time Instagram is telling me that, violation of whatever. So that is the reason why you're facing myself. If not, I could have shown you what we are showing. But the other platforms, you can go there if you want to see my screen. But reason that you should read screen is because of the TikTok rule sometimes that plays around. So that is my face coming up in just about a few minutes. Maybe some of you that have followed news would have picked this, but majority of people would not have seen this. Only about 6 different borders can bring you into Ondo State. Mokeda da Yalali Barika, my beautiful sister, Bimileke. Now, let's go into the conversation. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Mokele and Konsi Aziz, Ijaya, shout out to you. Alaji Alabi Muki. Now, I was actually reading a different news. In Kokoni Monka. Go to the 1 minute enter lórí TikTok. Mo fẹ́ wo kíni Monka before I landed into mo kàn fi fún yín idea what I was actually reading something. Okay, I think it's on Twitter. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna just retweet this. My idea what actually led to me finding out this information. So let me go on my Twitter first. The beauty of somebody that wants to know something is you must be ready to read. Tó bá ti lè kàn kankan òkútù pẹ̀tẹ̀ nìyẹn, that means pé gbọ́dọ̀ wá jókòó tìrú káwa wá ṣe breakdown fún ẹ lára ìdí pàtàkì tá a ṣe ń sọ pé forget about Nigeria. Tẹ́ bá rí article yìí, ibi tó fẹ́ bring wá sí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ní lórí ohun gangan lélẹ̀. So I follow this Twitter handle called @the_iPaper. So I saw the headline because I know that Britain ti kúrò nínú EU, but we are still having problems solving some of our policies, some of our ways around European Union. Even tí Nigeria bá break lẹ́ni, it will still take some time before we work out every policy that have locked all the 351 ethnic groups. There will still be a lot of things that we will be sitting on the round table every day. But when Nigeria ò ní pín yẹn tuntun ẹ̀dánù, it will come down at some point. Ìyẹn kan ní kò possible in 20 years to protect, the borders. That means we're all living in danger. So this is what I actually saw. I saw this and I was like, wow, interesting. And I started reading through. Ibi tí mo ti ń kálọ. So I'm not going to bore you with this because this is not where we're going. 9 ways BRICS exit still isn't done years after Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak pledged to finish the job. So nígbà tí mo ń ka kíní lọ, mo ń kà, I was enjoying it. Reading all through. I can share the link for those of you that wants to go and read it later. So mo wá débi báyìí, I got closer to, I think after this side. Yeah. European Union border control measures. So nígbà tí mo débi báyìí, and I saw, let me read it. EU border control measures. Talks are ongoing between United Kingdom, France, and the European Union about how to avoid wait of up to 10 hours for Dover Ferry and Channel Tunnel passenger next year when Brussels introduced new border control measures from countries outside the bloc. Straight away, that for me was like, wow. And people yóò dúró. They continue. Kò ṣe pé àwọn smuggler ò ní ráyè gbé àwọn èèyàn wọlé, but they are doing everything to stop everything to protect the interest of their country. And ìlú tó bá ti ní security, forget it, is a waste of time. Investors do not go to a country where they cannot guarantee a security. Nígbà tí mo wá rí débẹ̀ yẹn, mo ní, wow, this is interesting. Mo wá lọ sí the next slide. Last month, Eurotunnel operator, àwọn tó ń travel through Eurotunnel knows what I'm talking about. Àwọn tó ń lọ through Dover, wọ́n mọ tí mò ń sọ, because you can drive from here to France, to Paris, but ó máa lọ lórí omi tó bá dé stage kan. So wọ́n sọ pé ó máa take 10 hours fún àwọn tó bá fẹ́ lọ through Dover from next year. Nítorí pé there's what they call introduce new border control measure. Mo tún bèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, do you think that we can secure Nigeria borders from every 36 states within the next 8 years? Then why are we living in denial? Why are we living in a situation where they accept òtítọ́ pé the border control that we cannot protect is going to have a big impact on the lives of those of us that are around now and those that will be around in the years to come? So I went to the next slide, and it goes like this. Last month, let me open it up a little bit more. Let me turn it to 150. Last month, Eurotunnel operator, tó ń pè ní GetLink, warned the time required for passengers to hand over. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ bíbá. Èmi passenger tí mo fẹ́ travel through Eurotunnel láti London, I must be prepared to allow them to have my facial scan, fingerprint, biographical data under the new European entry and exit system. Tó bá ti mọ̀ pé o ní jẹ́ kó gba fingerprint ẹ, o ní lè travel even as a British passport holder from next year. Mo kí bàbá wa, mo kí ẹ̀yin ìyá wa tẹ́tí wọlé. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kó gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Even you tó ní British passport, o ní lè travel tó bá ti allow kó gba fingerprint ẹ, kó gba facial scan ẹ. Why do you think they need all these? Because we are coming to what they call a new world order. That's another topic on its own. Things are changing very fast. Àwa wá wà níbi tí à ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé tí a bá remain in Nigeria, Nigeria cannot protect us, cannot defend our border because those borders have been left open for too long. It is time now that we stop it before it is too late. If not, gbogbo wa ti kẹ́ran lọ́jọ́ wájú. Gbogbo wa ti kẹ́ran mẹ́rò nítorí pé we refuse to allow that system to be brought down. It could take 2 years, it could take 1 year, it could take 3 years. Tá bá ti jọ agree pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú pé we must wind down Nigeria so that there will not be bloodshed. We call it velvet divorce. Tíyàn bá ti wáyé, ẹ lọ máa múra sílẹ̀ pé there is probability that things can escalate quickly and things can become anarchy and it can go to where we don't want it to go. And there might be many people that will die, but we don't want that kind of situation. If you don't want that kind of situation, our politicians wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ràn sí wa lẹ́nu. But ẹ bá ti ní ẹ̀gbọ́ràn sí wa lẹ́nu, then that makes that ẹ̀yin tí ẹni kí politician má gbọ́ràn sí yín lẹ́nu, your brother will make the first impact. And I have a lot of videos from 2021. A lè ti gbàgbé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní St. Catholic Church ní Ondo State. Gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa sọ nírọ̀lẹ́. So when I saw these, so the first thing that got to my mind was, what is the EU entry and exit system? Kí ló mean? Ṣé rí pé láti inú article kan ni mo ti rí information tá fẹ́ lò yìí. So mo wá lọ ṣe kí ni? Mo wá lọ Google ẹ̀. Mo wá rí, wow! So iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ti lọ rẹpẹtẹ báyìí. So àwọn eléyìí ò tẹ̀ dúró. So what you are looking right now is the official European website. Kódà wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nínú parliament wọn, gbogbo tó sọ èdè wọn ló fi sọ, ẹ ní gbọ́ òyìnbó ẹyọ kan níbẹ̀. ìlà ṣe sọ fún yín pé ìwọ tó ń sọ pé I am a Nigerian tó tún lo English farabalẹ̀ kó gbọ́n tó sọ níbí báyìí ìwọ tó bá gbọ́ èdè wọn nìkan ló máa lọ understand it. There is no translation, but I just want you to see the feelings. Irú eléyìí la fẹ́ rí lọ́jọ́ iwájú kí wọ́n bá ń debate ní parliament wa kọ́ máa fèdè Yorùbá sọ àfẹ́gbẹ́dẹ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí president wa bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ èdè Yorùbá ló máa fi bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. But ẹ̀yin sọ pé ẹ̀fẹ́ yẹn ẹ fẹ́ continue with this imperialism, this colonial mentality. Láti máa sọ English, yet you cannot even get a visa to travel. Let's listen to this first. And this was in 2017.
Adesso passiamo alla relazione Diaz de Mera Garcia Consuegra, istituzione di un sistema di ingressi e uscite per la registrazione dei dati di ingresso e di uscita dei cittadini di paesi terzi che attraversano le frontiere esterne dell'Unione Europea. Quindi votiamo l'accordo provvisorio. In votazione l'emendamento 219 per appello nominale, la votazione è aperta. La votazione hanno votato tutti, è chiusa. Chiusa. Approvato. La prima lettura del Parlamento è così conclusa. Complimenti al relatore. La prima lettura del Parlamento.
Má bínú mo fẹ́ tá a bá tẹ ẹ̀gbọ́n kankan a ṣáà gbọ́ conclusion náà tá a bá tẹ ẹ̀gbọ́n èdè tó ń sọ a ṣáà gbọ́ conclusion that means pé they were voting so wọ́n vote fún kinní tí wọ́n pè ní EU and European exit to this new border control. All the European countries ló agree ẹ rí pé àwọn green ló dà pé wọ́n mú lọ́gbégbá lókè. So that means pé out of 666 MEP to represent the European Union, 477 voted for that border control. 131 sọ pé no. At least tá a bá tẹ gbọ́ èdè. Ara ta ṣe sọ pé ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nísìnyí gbogbo state Yorùbá kọ́ ló ń sọ. Ní House of Rep English ló ń sọ. But àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ make a new world order táwọn yẹ káwa náà tètè di pé àwọn náà máa ní country tiwa láti lè ẹ̀rí pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń jókòó ní sìn some of them are old but majority of them that are making the decision they are not even up to our own age. So I've just given you the background of this particular video. Now let's come out and now read it as an article. So, under the Migration and the Home Affairs of the European Commission, the title is called Entry and Exit System, EES. Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? The Entry and Exit System will be an automated IT system for registering travelers from third countries, both short-stay visa holders, visa-exempt travelers, each time they travel cross an EU external border. Jẹ́ nǹkan ṣàlàyé fún ẹ ní breakdown quickly. So in tó ń sọ nísìnyí pé ìwọ ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ìwọ ọmọ Africa, ìwọ ọmọ British tó ní British passport because you are no longer part of European Union. You must be prepared that every time tó bá fẹ́ lọ sí European countries, we will capture your fingerprint, your facial image, and also whatever type of travel document you are traveling with. The system will register. The system, if I highlight any, the system will register the person's name, Olayomi Koiki, the type of travel document, UK document, biometric data, fingerprint, and then they will also capture your facial image. The date and place of entry and exit. I am going to Germany. Mo máa wọlé ní on the 21st of September 2023. Mo máa exit ní 1st of November 2023. In full respect of fundamental rights and data protection. It will also record. No, they don't for me. I'm not tweeting and I'm not sending an email. Okay, let me just leave this highlight. It will also record refusals of entry for the what is known as the entry and exit system. It will also record refusal of entry. EES, tí wọ́n pè ní entry and exit system, will replace the current system of manually stamping of passport. Ṣé rí pé wọ́n ti upgrade. Àwa ṣì wà níbi ìdíre ìṣánáre. À ń sọ fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá pé our lives are all in danger should we remain in Nigeria because Nigeria is not serious when it comes to border protection. Nigeria have literally left every one of us open for the worms of the Boko Haram, the ISIS, all the kind of different activities from smuggling. Mo sọ fún yín ní some last week pé ìyá kan ó gbé ọmọ ẹ̀ fún ẹni tí kò mọ̀ rí ní ìlú Ìlọrin. Mo sọ pé òtò yẹn wá lórí program kan ní ìlú Ìbàdàn. I don't want to mention the name of that program again. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá follow program yẹn ṣé mọ̀ pé títí di wákàtí ọmọ yẹn wọ̀ tí mo bi tó wà tó bá jẹ́ pé irú ìyá yẹn a ti capture fingerprinted tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni à á lè detect ibi tó bá wà because with that fingerprint and the facial we will be able to know níbo ló lọ. But today ṣé ìlú tí kò sí 24 hours electricity báwo lẹ ṣe tẹ̀ fẹ́ lo CCTV? I mean yes we can see some CCTV in Lagos State but CCTV yẹn at some point tó ọ̀ bá lo generator tí náà bá kú that is the end of the CCTV. Àbí tó ní àwọn tó ń lo all these other source of power. Now let's put our mind at any understanding. But mo fẹ́ kà díẹ̀ sí before we move away from this page. So EES will replace the current system of manual stamping. Àwọn tó ń travel mọ tí mo mean tó bá travel tó bá dé wàá lu passport yẹn fún wọn tó bá jẹ́ pé British passport tó ló ń lò àbí American passport but tó bá jẹ́ pé other country passport ló ń lò wọ́n máa stamp ẹ̀ tó bá débi tó ń lọ. I don't know whether they do that with the British passport. But with other passport, you will be stamped nílùú tó ń lọ bóyá o bá ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n máa stamp yẹn anyway. Ẹ̀rọ pé gbogbo kíní ẹ̀ náà wọ́n ti fi ṣe fraud especially ní Nàìjíríà. Ìgbà yẹn ló máa délé ní wọn ò ní jẹ́ kó stamp ẹ̀ nítorí pé òfin jẹ́ kó mọ̀ ìgbà tó dé. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. There's too many shenanigans going on in the port authority in Nigeria anyway. And that's why they do not respect that passport anywhere in the world. The system will register the EES will replace the current system of manual stamping of passport, which is time consuming. So what we call the time here does not provide reliable data on the border crossing and does not allow a systematic detection of overstayers. Travelers who have exceeded the maximum duration of their authorized stay. So you want to travel wá sí UK nísìnyí bí èmi náà ṣe wá ní 1998 because I sọ pé àlọ́mọ́ that means àti di overstayer. But the moment you start your immigration then you remain in the country until the immigration comes back and say yes we will allow you to stay. No, you will not be able to stay. I'm sure some of you have been reading àwọn tó dé tọ́nà àwọn oníṣẹ́. I'm going to do a different program on that entirely. But we are talking about the borders. We are talking about travelers. How many travelers are coming into Nigeria? Do we know? Èèyàn mélòó ló wọ Nigeria on a daily basis that we can account for? Tó dẹ̀ ń settle láàrin wa. EES will contribute to prevent irregular migration and help protect the security. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bíbí báyìí mú dáadáa. Very very important ibi tó sọ yìí. Wọ́n ní ìtẹ̀wọ̀n gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà láti fi kọ́kọ́ ṣe kí ni irregular migration and the most important, to help protect the security of the European citizen. They don't care whatever African countries you are coming from, whether or they are not equal resources, they care less. They must protect their own citizen. And those that have been able to become an European citizen, either through marriage, either through whatever means. So, but to get that part of European citizen, forget it. You will have to go through the process for them to be able to recognize you that you are Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Because we are fraudsters. Because some of our passport, your details there, it is not new to them. So if you think that no, the West knows that Nigerian passport is a fraudulent passport. Reduce the age you are. But the problem is pé tó bá lọ test eyín wa, wọ́n máa wọ́n pé eyín ọmọ kékeré ló wà níbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní egungun ẹ̀ ṣe wá dà báyìí. I'm sure some of you know what they call football age. Àìmọye àwọn tó ti reduce age wọn. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Come out to go into too much elaboration. So àwọn fẹ́ ṣe kí ni? Wọ́n fẹ́ fi protect ìlú wọn àti àwọn ọmọ ìlú wọn. Nítorí pé wọ́n fẹ́ kí nǹkan wá tó máa rape ọmọ wọn, tó máa pọmọ wọn, tí wọ́n ní lè sọ pé arákùnrin yìí ìlú báyìí ló ti wá d'Africa. Arákùnrin Eastern Bloc ló ti wá, òun ló wá commit crime. Even tó bá exit, tó bá jáde padà, they can be able to trace it. Do you know how many people have commit crime in Nigeria that we cannot trace back to níbo gangan ló ti wá? Now, ẹ dìbẹ̀ yẹn mú. Ẹ wá jẹ́ ká lọ reference sí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tí bàbá wa Akérédolú, the governor of Ondo State. This was an article in February 19, 2021. Akérédolú created Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn to kill Fulani herdsmen. Àwọn northerners ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ because wọ́n mọ̀ pé these are people that do not have any kind of data and they are the one committing the majority crime in Yoruba land. Wọ́n wá disagree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Àwọn Miyetti Allah. This was in 2021. And let me read that quickly for the benefit of those that are not seeing the screen. Once again, this is koikimedia bringing the work closer to your doorstep. The National Secretary of the Association, Sally Alassane, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday, in February 19, 2021, according to Sahara Reporter. A Pan-Fulani group for cattle breeders, Miyetti Allah Kutalu Ure, has alleged that Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu created Western Nigerian Security Network, also known as Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, to kill the Fulani and the Northerners residing in the Southwest. According to the National Secretary of the Association, Sally Alassane disclosed this in a statement on Thursday. Alassane called for calm among his people, assuring them that efforts were ongoing to prefer a permanent solution to challenges. That is why nígbà ẹni Gabriel ṣe ń sọ fún Akérédolú pé bíbá bẹ́ẹ̀ dá èmi kan mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kó ra AK-47 fún àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. I hope that Tinubu will be able to change the narrative, but the question is, can Tinubu protect the Yoruba land in the next 4 years against atrocity, against drug laws, whether they are Igbos, Yoruba, Hausa, whether they are Fulani terrorists? It does not matter whoever they are, and the evidence is there. Let's listen to this. This was just 11 months ago. 45 people were arrested. I don't know what is their background, but let's listen to it according to TVC. Once again, I do not own the copyright of this transmission, of this particular video.
The man of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, codenamed Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, say they have arrested 45 suspects for various crimes in the state. The state commander of Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, Adetunji Adeleye, while parading the suspects at the headquarters of the Corps in Abuja.
Is the audio coming out of this particular video? Timon, play. I just need the yes quickly so that we can continue. Share video, share audio and jadi. I need to know so that I can continue to put the play on. Yes or no? I'm talking to those of you on the software. Quickly, please. No, conscious interval lórí TikTok. Àwọn tó wà lórí ẹ̀yin wà away from the software. Okay? Yes, that's fine. And you are independent, and you are TikTok. You are independent away from the software. Thank you so much, sir. Let's go ahead.
Correct. Several suspects were arrested for kidnapping, armed robbery, stealing, snatching of motorbikes, among others.
Now, kidnapping, snatching of motorbikes, àti other constitution kankan níbẹ̀. That is the reason why the European Union cannot afford to sit behind and allow their system to be open for this kind of activities. Ìjọ́ wo la máa wá dé stage yìí to protect our loved ones, Moke Martins?
The Amotekun commander says the security architecture in the state.
And you can see what ilẹ̀ gbogbo tí crime tó lúkàlùkù ṣe eléyìí suspected motorcycle robber ọ̀wọ̀ eléyìí suspected surveillance woman survey fáwọn èèyàn ni wàwíṣíàṣíà Àkúrẹ́ èyí tó wà níbẹ̀ suspected surveillance eléyìí suspected rapist. You can see the kind of, there's crime all over the world. Don't get me wrong. Crime tó wà ní UK kò ń ṣe kékeré rárá. But the question is, how do we prevent this crime? First and foremost is, we must be able to protect our borders. That border is one of the biggest problems. Ìyẹn wọ́n sọ pé Ondo ṣe jẹ́ state kan débi pé ibẹ̀ gangan ló ń gbà wọlé jù. Let's continue.
Has been beefed up. Among those paraded were 5 members of a gang who allegedly kidnapped a family.
Check box. 5 gang what kidnap family. Okay.
Local government area of the state. The commander added that investigations have been concluded in all the cases, stressing that the suspects will be charged to court.
Deployed additional hands to all the 18 local governments of those states.
This is not just for Fulani now, but ẹgbọ́n gbọ́ táwọn Fulani yẹn sọ nígbà yẹn pé wọ́n create Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn láti fi suppress àwọn Fulani, but I'm sure pé lára àwọn tí mo ti rí bíbá nísìn àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan wà láàrin wọn. But let's continue.
To assist in building up the security architecture of Ondo State, and it had actually yielded a lot of results. Within the last 2 weeks, we have been able to curtail the excesses of the criminals, ranging from kidnapping, armed robbery, rape, and a lot of other nefarious activities. So right now, before you, we have 45 of those criminals that we had concluded their investigations.
Now, let's come back. Now, you've had what that commander of Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, we must give kudos to the job that they are doing. Based on Ìpọ̀tọ́níní, Ìwọ̀nbatọ́ní, it is AY King, good evening to you. But when we are talking about in a large scale, how do we be able to, báwo la ṣe lè ṣe tó máa wà much easier fún wọn is by training them and giving them all the necessary materials using the latest technology. But the first thing is that the country itself is open. So tí Ondo State bá tẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú tó ń prevent it. But the same people will go through another state, coming through Ọ̀yọ́, Ìṣẹ̀yìn, Òkè-Ògùn, and they will infiltrate to Ondo State. The question is, EES will contribute to preventing irregular migration. Do you know how many people are coming into Nigeria from other African countries that our system do not capture? Àwa tá à ń dé nìkan lóyún airport nìkan ló dàbí pé wọ́n capture àtàwọn Yorùbá tó fẹ́ lọ sí Benin Republic tí wọ́n ń disturb. But gbogbo àwọn tó ń wọlé láti òkè ọya náà wọn ò tẹ̀ check wọn rárá. Wọ́n kàn wọlé, wọ́n jáde, wọ́n wọlé, wọ́n jáde. Ẹ jẹ́ ká continue nípa EES. The new system will also help bona fide third country nationals to travel more easily while also identifying more efficiently overstayer, as well as cases of document and identity fraud. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé the Nigerians are fraudsters. Kò ń ṣe pé àṣẹ máa sọ pé káfíṣẹ́nukò. Dubai has removed you from that visa part. There is no e-visa anymore for Nigerians that are traveling to Turkey. Kódà tó bá ní British visa àti American visa tẹ́lẹ̀ ó gbé ẹ wọnú Turkey, but lẹ́yìn nísìnyí wọ́n ti cancel ẹ̀. Even churchless. So ìlú mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn do not accept us anymore because of identity theft, fraud. They know that everything around us, even the president as we speak right now, you can see that his background is like he's very, very shielded. I mean, I have my secondary school certificate. I'm a certificate. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. So it's like they know who we are as people with different characters. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá mú Nàìjíríà, ó lè play different characters. Ọmọ Igbo tó bá mú lè nà ọmọ Yorùbá lòun. Ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá mú lè nà ọmọ Igbo lòun. So wọ́n mọ gbogbo àrékérekè yẹn. And it's not about Nigeria alone. It goes to even our Eastern Europeans. Tó yẹ pé bàbá olè làwọn yẹn drug táwọn yẹn ń gbé wọ UK kò ń ṣe kékeré rárá. But what we are saying here is, how do we stop this now? If we are in Nigeria, can our government protect us? Ẹ wo short video tá kọ́kọ́ ti play yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká close yẹn. That was 11 months ago. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wá sílé díẹ̀ 1 month ago. Ìyẹn á rò pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 11 months ago á ti níyànjú díẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ sí another video from the same TVC. This was 1 month ago. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn again parade 28 suspected criminals in the same Ondo state. The question is, ó ṣe jẹ́ pé Ondo nìkan? If there's nothing wrong in the border, we will have less. We know that there's other reason why people are into crime. I am not saying that there's no crime in America, in UK, in Europe, but what we are saying is that, can we first defend that border? At least ká tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ eliminate àwọn tó fẹ́ infiltrate wa. Let's listen to this again. I do not own the copyright of the video.
It have paraded 28 suspected criminals for different offences. Among the suspects are 2 secondary school girls who feigned their abduction and hostage taking, as well as some suspects who allegedly raped their victims for 3 consecutive days.
Do you imagine that? A suspect was raping their victim for 3 consecutive days. If we have got a system put in place, number one, any crime tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Europe, they first take the fingerprint of that area. I sometimes wonder when there is crime in Nigeria, everybody is just walking around the crime area and the crime scene rather. And I'm wondering, ṣé kò sí àwọn tó máa ṣe investigation tó máa, because we are not, I think Lagos State nìkan ló need that kind of facilities. I don't know whether they are using it, in all the local government in that particular sector. But mo mọ̀ pé ó dà pé bàtà ń bọ̀dé wà níbẹ̀ bí ẹgbẹ́ lọ lọ́njẹ̀ tó lè fi ṣe fingerprint. Ìyẹn fún ara iṣẹ́ gidi ni. Any crime no kódà kò sí bí crime yẹn ṣe lè kéré tó ní Europe. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé ẹni tó commit crime yẹn probability wà pé á tún lọ commit crime níbòmíì. And that is why they must stop it as quickly as possible. And the only way you can stop a crime is to first get that fingerprint. Ṣé wá rí reason tí fingerprint ṣe wà very very important, because wọ́n máa ń fi kíní kan síbẹ̀. Wọ́n á nu gbogbo ara ilẹ̀kùn báyìí. Àìmọye àwọn bọ́gìlà àwọn ọmọ olè kan wà ládùúgbò wa náà káàkiri gbogbo UK, ní England, ní Wales. Àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ máa ń bọ́gù ni tó bá rí pé lè yẹn dáwọ́rọ́ wá aṣílẹ̀kùn. Táwọn yẹn bá dé, wọ́n á da powder sí, wọ́n á máa nù báyìí, wọ́n á nù báyìí, wọ́n á lẹ̀ kíní kan mọ́ lára báyìí, á gbé nǹkan kan jáde, wọ́n á take a picture. You must document a crime. Crime with me only after 10 years. Then you about to commit a crime in Ule. I think mabo. The question is, how can we use technology to stop crime? How can we use technology? Àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kidnap, rape. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tó ń gbé epo ní Ìlàjẹ ní Ondo State. Mo ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
These are suspected criminals arrested by the men of the Amotekun Corps at different locations in Ondo State. Some of the suspects were arrested during an intense joint raid of the forest in Owo.
Ṣẹ̀gbọ́n ní inú igbó Owo. So Amotekun ready láti ṣiṣẹ́ if they are equipped, if they are trained, and if they are given all the resources on need, they are ready to work. But àti wà compromised. Àwọn èèyàn wá pé bàbá rẹ̀ ti wà compromised. Let me remind you quickly of this particular video of ours. I hope I find it just by looking. Yeah, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí arákùnrin sọ. Lẹ́fí máa mọ̀ pé crime yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kó stop nítorí pé àwọn tó ń perpetrate crime àwọn ọ̀gá wọn àwọn lélẹ́yìí.
Which is it for you, Dr. Obadiah? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
So what do they expect of us now that this war is on our doorstep? Of course, there has got to be civil mobilization. And if we keep waiting for this to be centrally handled, we're all going to become, if we're not already, slaves in our own land. That for me is personally intolerable. It's not an acceptable condition. And whatever it takes, I stand ready to contribute in any way.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, mo kí Ọ̀túnba Bóyè Máyùgbà, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok dáadáa, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, mo kí ẹ̀yin màmá wa Esther, mo kí ìyá wa Abọ́sẹ̀dé, mo kí olólùfẹ́ wa tí ń wò wá, mo kí ẹni tí kò nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa náà, àmọ́ eléyìí tá à ń sọ yìí kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú èmi àtiwọ́. But ìran tó ń bọ̀ wá bí èmi àti ẹ pé nígbà tí àwa ń rí bí gbogbo àgbáyé ṣe ń develop, tó ń lo technology, àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tí ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó pọ̀, all they need now is to enhance them. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tó bá yẹ pé àwa la ní country tiwa, àwa la ní system tiwa, we will be able to deploy it. But reason tí wọ́n ṣe lè deploy ẹ̀ ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà ni pé because Dr. Late Malafia sọ pé àwọn tó wà behind it, àwọn gangan ni Boko Haram, àwọn gangan ni terrorist. But yes, Tinubu is there. He wants to capture them. He wants to destroy that network, for argument's sake. Tí Tinubu bá tún wá lọ ń tán kọ́, tí Tinubu bá put measures in place tá dẹ̀ ṣì wà nínú Nàìjíríà, do you think that we will be safe? And if you're wondering how to support the platform, that is it there, that is put on the screen, on the email at PayPal, musakalam1@yahoo.com, and all the other ways from the Kofi bot and other ways as well. Mo kí bàbá wa Pastor Agbola Yonkan, mo kí ìyá wa Ọmọlọ́lá Adéyẹmí, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. So ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá ètò yẹn nìṣó lọ. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tí mo jù lọ àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ jù mí lọ. Eléyìí tó wà ńlẹ̀ tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ yìí, eléyìí ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí wa. Torí pé àmẹ́ni tó máa kàn, àmẹ́ni tó máa fẹ́ travel lọ sí ìlú, àbẹ́ni tó wà ní city, àbẹ́ni tó kàn fẹ́ sáré sọ pé láàárín àdúgbò sádúgbò tó dẹ̀ máa jí ọmọ gbé. Mo ní pé nínú program kan tí mo gbọ́ ní Ìbàdàn, arábìnrin yẹn láti July 29 ló ti ń wá bébì ẹ̀. Títí di wákàtí bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, àmọ́ ibi tí bébì yẹn wà. Ṣé ọmọ yẹn ṣé kò jọ, ṣé kò jẹ́ èèyàn sí yín ni? Tí kò bá tẹ̀ ń ṣe pé àwa la bí. But already ọmọ tó ń wà yìí nísìnyí àwọn ọmọ ń sọnù náà nínú òyìnbó tó ń ṣe kékeré, but we must do everything to prevent all this, and the only way to prevent it is to start telling our representatives that it is time that we look into the right to self-determination. Akalamago TV mo kí ẹ dáadáa. Let's continue with the program. Mo kí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí bàbá wa Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Let's go back into this video again.
And Akoko areas of the state.
Akoko side ibi bàbá wa Ìbà Gani Adams lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o. Mo débẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Very beautiful place. But the question is, ṣé mo lè gbé ní Àkókò ṣá? Ṣé mo lè sùn mọ́jú láì lo burglary proof? Láì sọ pé bí ó bá tẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ tí bá pe Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ṣọ́ máa dé. If Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn is giving all the materials, I'm sure Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn will outshine the Nigerian police in all Yoruba land. I'm sure they will. Because àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ló wà níbẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe kọmíṣánná Igbo tó lọ gbé wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò ń ṣe kọmíṣánná Hausa tó gbélé sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tí o máa pọlọ́pàá tọ́lọ́pàá máa sọ pé àwọn ò lè po nínú mọ́tò. Ṣe rí crime kò síbi tí yàn ti lè fi commit crime. Ìyàn máa ń ṣe nǹkan tí crime ò sí ní fi wáyé ni. Mo sọ fún yín pé nígbà tí mo dé ní 1998, ó kàn máa fi pépà àwọn pólísì pé o ní o ní insurance. Bó nígbà tó wá realize pé àwọn kan fi commit fraud, pé tó bá ra insurance yẹn ìwọ náà ló tún máa lọ cancel ẹ̀. Tí mọ́tò yẹn bá wá l'accident, wọn ò lè claim insurance lára mọ́tò yẹn. Ó wá di bodies government kí ló ṣe? Wọ́n increase the technology tó wà nínú mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá. Bí wọ́n increase the chip yẹn ni, bí wọ́n ra screen sí gbogbo mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá ni, èlò ló fi cost wọn. But now tọ́lọ́pàá bá ti ń kódà kó tó dọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ àbí kó tó dọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ ló máa sọ fún ẹ pé mọ́tò yìí obìnrin ló register sí. Ìwọ ṣe jọ́kùnrin kí ló dé pé wọ́n ló ń drive kọ́kọ́ páàkì náà. Ìwọ ló ṣe máa ṣàlàyé pé mọ́tò ìyàwó mi ni, mọ́tò girlfriend mi ni, ó dáa ṣo ní right láti drive ẹ̀. Ìyẹn ló máa sọ fún ẹ pé mọ́tò ṣo mọ̀ pé ọlọ́pàá dẹ̀ máa ń dọ́gbọ́n nílùú yìí. Ọlọ́pàá tó bá fẹ́ mú ẹ a máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣeré but ó ti mú ẹ lọ sí police station. A ní ṣo mọ̀ pé mọ́tò yìí tó drive yìí mọ́tò yìí dẹ̀ nice gan-an. Wọ́n náà ní a ní bọ̀ ṣo mọ̀ pé ẹ mo tiẹ̀ ti tán. Let's continue. So kò síbi tí kò lè sí crime, but màá fi in táwọn fẹ́ fi technology tó fẹ́ fi ṣe. Mo ní fídíò kan tá a máa play fún wa, ìyẹn EES tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí nírọ̀lẹ́ yìí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí Grandma Comfort Ojo, mo kí Mr. Peter Pan. How can indigenous tribes refuse to fight for their own nation? How can such great tribes in Zulu Nigeria lack the belief in fighting? Ìyàwó Comfort, Grandma sọ pé well done to you. Mo kí ẹ̀yin náà. Ìyàwó Agbẹ́milékè ní happy Sunday fún ìyàwó Esther. Mo kí ìyá mi Tèmítèmí, mo kí ìwà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wà, mo kí Yèyé Oge.
Kidnappers hiding in the forest, parading the suspect before journalists. In Akure, the state commander of Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn Adétúnjì.
So ó ṣó pé bàbá yẹn ṣiṣẹ́, let's give kudos to him fún ọmọ rí. Wọ́n ṣe pé wọ́n sanwó advert fún ẹ níbí báyìí. But èmi kọ̀ wó pé at least in tó lè mú Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn Ondo state tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun báyìí, they will probably need more resources, they will need more help. But kò ń ṣe lè tí deputy governor bí ṣe gbọ́ tán ní ó ti ń gbàdúrà pé kí governor kú, Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ kí governor yẹn kú. We might disagree with Akérédolú. But at least ó mú Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yẹn ó tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ dáadáa ní Ondo state kò gbà fún wọn. But we know that he's not doing very well. Kọ́lọ̀ fún lálàáfíà. But bí ṣe gbọ́ wọ́n ní deputy yẹn wọ́n ní ojú wọn náà wà nínú governor. Ìwọ náà fẹ́ di governor. So àdúrà tó ń gbà ní pé Akérédolú kú sọ́hùn tó bá ti kú sí Germany ìrọ̀lẹ́ ló pa Akérédolú máa padà wá sílé. And all our politicians must support and endorse the right to self-determination. Tinubu cannot fix the borders of Yoruba land. Tinubu ò lè fix ẹ̀ even tó bá pọ́ǹpù owó sáàárín ibẹ̀. Torí tó bá pọ́ǹpù owó síbẹ̀ tán tóun bá ṣe ọdún tó fẹ́ ṣe tán tí gómìnà tí president mi bá dé wọ́n máa withdraw. And security ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa náwó ní gbogbo ìgbà. Kò ń ṣe pé yẹn a ti ra walkie-talkie nínú bàbá ìgbé walkie-talkie dání ṣé mo expect pé walkie-talkie náà ló máa ní láti ọdún tó ti 11 months ago. I'm sure pé ẹ kó ti ní mí. Because èyí tó rà yẹn nǹkan kan lè ṣe òjò lè pa wọ́n lè sáré pé níbi tó ti ń sáré ewu tó hàn yẹ̀ sí kó jábọ́ kó ṣubú nínú ẹ̀ lọ́ máa ní di mọ́tò. So security state gbọ́dọ̀ ní allocation. We know that they are giving them security fund táwọn tó fi ṣe níwò and it runs into billions, and I have evidence to that because senior advocate of Nigeria Robert Clark told us that Rotimi Okorocha òun ló jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé over 3 billion ni wọ́n fún wọn fún security vote. wọ́n dẹ̀ náà àwọn military ló dá yẹn sílẹ̀ pé kọ́ má bàa fi gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ wọn nígbà tí wọ́n fi fún àwọn military administrator ní tán pè ní security vote a máa play yẹn later.
Said 3 of the suspects allegedly raped their victims for 3 consecutive days in their hideout in the land.
Nígbà tí wọ́n ń rẹ́pù ìyá kan ní 2018 ẹ rántí fídíò yẹn àbẹ́ ti gbàgbé ta ló rántí fídíò mọ́mì wa yẹn ta ló rántí fídíò mọ́mì wa yẹn ta máa ń play tí màmá yẹn sunkún pé Yorùbá people my people my people my people don't care. That was 2018 ni mọ́mì wa yẹn sunkún pé wọ́n rape àwọn wọ́n rape ọmọ wọn ó dà pọ́ tó bí bá bàbá wọn náà sàn lọ́nà ẹ rántí fídíò yẹn mo fẹ́ òbí á máa rí kíkọ kákọ̀ play chẹ́chẹ́rẹ́ díẹ̀ lára káwá imagine pé yeah I mean there's still rape that happens there but we must prevent everything. Àwa ní Yorùbá àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ think about ourselves ká tó ronú ọmọ Igbo ká tó ronú ọmọ Hausa wọ́n kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ protect gbogbo wa náà but wọ́n lè protect gbogbo wa nínú Nàìjíríà so wọ́n kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ pé protect gbogbo Nàìjíríà and trying to protect mo wá fídíò yẹn ni o and trying to protect everybody in Nigeria is dragging us backward. Yeah, mo ti rí woman rape in 2018 mo fi ṣe ẹ má bínú mọ́ mi wá ọjọ́ tẹ bá sọ pé Koiki má lo fídíò yẹn mọ́ I will stop using it but for now I haven't got any message of that. The driver
felt the wagon's tires rupture and decided to park the car with the hope of changing the tires. It was like a film. In a GC, motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They fired at the boot of the car. Ahead of us, 5 of them came out of the bush. Another 2 came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest, hit my daughter on her head. Blood oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was hell. He went straight for my private part, tore my dress with his gun. The others ripped my dresses. I was left with my undies. My husband and my daughter started crying. 2 of them dug their teeth into my breasts. While attending a secondary school in Adamawa, I had lived with some Fulani, so I understood a few Fulani words. I started pleading, at least for my daughter. To my shock, at gunpoint, they removed the dress of my little girl. One of them carried her on his head as a baby, on his head as my baby struggled, shouting, "Daddy, Mommy, what's going on? Help me!" I could not help myself. We marched for 9 hours. I was half naked. My daughter was totally naked. Her tears was like a stream of blood on her cheeks. Our phones had been seized. We ended up in an ungoverned region in the thick of the forest. We met a well-organized group. There were some kidnapped victims. I saw 2 women, 2 ladies and 3 men. There were some people with their legs chained to trees. They were as if half dead. We were separated. I was separated from my husband. My daughter was taken away. I only heard her screaming intermittently. I did not know what they were doing to her. These men, now about 2 dozen, had a full kitchen. They had a huge camp and a traditional medical team. How can they say they don't know where these people are? How can they say that? But the camps appeared isolated from each other. We heard noises afar, indicating it might be nuclear settlements of camps. Right in my presence, I saw them pack the remains of a woman. They took her and buried her a few meters away from us. She had tribal marks. I cannot describe the agony of 6 days in captivity in this little piece. I cannot talk about how they asked my husband to choose between myself being raped or his daughter being raped. My husband broke down in uncontrollable tears. One of them hit him saying, Yoruba bastard, you they cry, idiot. They now gave him an option that he should be raped by one homosexual among them. My husband, a devout Muslim. My husband is a devout Muslim. He told them that homosexual and rape of any kind was against Islam. They hit him with the butt of AK-47. What do you know about Islam? You can imagine, you are being asked to choose between being raped by a homosexual, your daughter just 9 years old, or your wife being raped. They gave the fourth option. If you fail to choose one, we will rape your daughter, rape you, the man, and rape me, the wife. I made myself the sacrificial lamb. My husband begged, saying they should name any price. One of them asked him to bend down. 3 beastly criminals sat on his back, jumping until he was too weak to stand. I was not allowed to put on any additional clothes. Imagine they rape you all night and they stop you from putting on any clothes for 24 hours. The rain fell once. I became a relic at a sexual museum.
Mo bá gbogbo aṣọ mi wá kú pátá àti tàti sí mi ní mo wá wo ibẹ̀ tó bá gbé tó adábí kan bí tó náà ọkùnrin wá dé láti gbọ́ ó ní kán ṣílẹ̀kùn fóun so ọmọ dáàdì mi Adétutù Òkèbàlóyè ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi mo wá ní kí yẹn lọ ṣí ilẹ̀kùn bí yẹn ṣe ṣílẹ̀kùn ọkọ mi wá pọnú kí ṣe oníṣègùn tó ń jẹ ní mi ìdáná kò sówó kankan lọ́wọ́ mi tí máa fi ìdáná bọ́kọ̀ mi ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo oúnjẹ kò wá tilẹ̀kùn ṣé èmi wá jáde síta sẹ́ẹ̀tì mi tí mo gbé sórí tébù nínú pálọ̀ mi mo wá lọ mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn bí mo kàn ṣe mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn mo kàn rí àwọn pípù yẹn àwọn méje ń wọlé ó dàbẹ́ ni pé àwọn mẹ́rin gbé ìbọn dání àwọn mẹ́ta oníbọn wọn ní àdá wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí Hausa sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní Súbàhà Fúlàní bá wọ́n ní sú kìnnápà ni wọ́n láwọn kì í ṣe Fúlàní pé kìnnápà làwọn wọ́n ní kí n gbé owó wá mo wá fi Hausa dáhùn pé báǹdè kùdí wọ́n ní àpò ìkùdí wọ́n á ní báǹdè kùdí wọ́n ní kí n gbó wá wọ́n ní mi ìlú tó bí kan ṣe gbá ìbọn wọn lè láyà ìkan tẹ̀lé ọkọ mi pé ọkọ mi.
And these continue to happen in Yoruba territory, in the north, in the middle belt. Kò ń ṣàwa nìkan ni ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Bọ̀ ṣé àwa fẹ́ wà nínú ibi tí a máa fi àwa ṣe statistics, a máa fara wa ṣe àpèjúwe? Mo kí àwa Ìyábọ̀ Olúbùnmi Ẹ̀kálẹ́mà. Abakio TV, thank you so much. Please, let's say go say no to one Nigeria. Thank you so much. Aziz Lenkan say mo kí dáadáa. May Nigeria don't happen to us, and that's a fact. Video mọ́mí wa ti 2018 yẹn, kò síjọ́ tí èèyàn bá play ara èèyàn máa bù máa ṣọ́. I don't want to go into it again. Very, very distressing. Mo kí bàbá wa Ọ̀túnba lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá lórí TikTok. And shout out to those of you that are watching us. Let's move swiftly. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa entry and exit new European law tó máa jáde ní 2024. A ti rí fídíò bí wọ́n ṣe vote fún nínú parliament wọn. 477 people voted for it. But this is how you should be expecting. And this is how that technology is going to look like. Mo ní lo sound yẹn, but let me just say this: what you're looking right now is the new technology. European entry and exit system will be a mandatory system for registering third countries like Nigeria, Africa, UK, as long as you're not part of the European citizen. Tó bá máa gbàbẹ̀ kọjá, under the EES situation at the immigration checkpoint will be put, and the E-gate that will be able to check you before you go into any European country. The checkpoint is already used to full extent during a pre-EES peak situation. We can use technology, but is Nigeria serious when it comes to technology? The design and talk, we talk too much in that country, but we do not have the database of who is coming in and who is going out. Without any optimization, the prolonged process is highly exceeded. Why stimulation of the EES, planning, validation of new process, prediction of the future? Let me pause that. Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tó kọ síbẹ̀ yẹn, wọ́n sọ pé lẹ́ẹ̀ni o, wọ́n sọ pé ní 2024, they are already predicting the future. Don't we want to predict the future of the Yoruba people, or do we predict the future of Yoruba people in Nigeria? Which one do you want? Do you want the 8 years or the 4 years of a Yoruba man that is there right now, and after he has gone, the battle goes again to the north, and it takes another 8 years, and that is if he's likely to come back again, because that means pé àwọn ọmọ Igbo ńkọ́? Ṣé àmọ́ wa gbá Nàìjíríà láàrin àwa Yorùbá àti àwọn Hausa? What about the Igbos? So that means pé tí Tinubu bá máa fi ṣe tán, even if it doesn't go to the southeast, tó bá lọ sílẹ̀ Hausa for 8 years, àwa kúrò nílẹ̀ Hausa ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ Igbo for another 8 years. That means pé we are not likely to see presidency for the next 16 years. So we are not talking about now, we are talking about the future. So those of you that are saying that which Yoruba nation you want, no, we are not talking about now. Àwọn ilé ń sọ̀rọ̀ prediction of the future checkpoint performances. Future, identification of bottlenecks, prevention of critical situation. Let's continue. This is the reason why they are creating the European entry and exit system. So ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ British passport holder, you will also have to fill a form, just like you have to fill a form before you travel to America. Even as a British passport holder, ó ní àwọn form kan tó máa fill kó tó nù lọ sí America. It's because wọ́n fẹ́ mọ àwọn tó ń wá. Mo kí bàbá wa comrade owó ṣe bí mo kí dáadáa sà. Wọ́n fẹ́ mẹni tó fẹ́ wọlé, wọ́n fẹ́ mẹni tó fẹ́ jáde. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni nísìn, àmẹ́ni tó ń wọlé, àmẹ́ni tó ń jáde. Ta ló ń wọlé gan tó ń gbé ẹlòmíì ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ́ǹtì lé fún? Ìlú yìí nísìn o kò lè sọ pé ó fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ landlord ó fẹ́ rẹ́ǹtì lé. Wọ́n máa tún chẹ́ẹ̀kì pé ṣé o ní ìwé gan sẹ̀. And this is why mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Milton Keynes, the trouble the next president going to occupy is cabinet minister with his tribe. Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. Ṣèbí Tinubu náà ti kó àwọn tiwa mọ́ra, and they were excited. I am happy with that. Whether àwọn Igbo were happy is a different thing. Whether Hausa were happy, I don't care. But what I'm saying is that tí Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ nísìn, ìwọ ṣáà bá wa kó gbogbo Yorùbá kó wọn sí tòsí. Ẹ gbádùn Àbújá dáadáa. Ẹ enjoy kódà tó bá wù yín concept. Ẹ lè máa ṣe tó bá wù yín l'Àbújá. You only have a number of years. Years yẹn ò ń ṣe nǹkan tó jẹ́ bàbàrà fáwa. 15 years lè nílò ní UK tí mo lè fi jáde. So gbogbo 4 years 8 years tí Tinubu fẹ́ lò yẹn, ike ìkéré máa dùn wọ́n sì máa wà pẹ̀lú mi níbí báyìí. Mo ò ní jẹ́ kó jáde níbí báyìí. Because tó bá tẹ̀ ṣe half time nínú prison, because ó dà pé 10 years or 8 years tá fún ike ìkéré máa dùn. Tó bá ṣe 4 years nínú 8 years yẹn, ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa wà nínú ilé, a máa tágẹsẹ̀. Tó bá jáde kúrò báyìí, a ní ṣe mistake yìí tó dress ṣe alámásìgbà. Ìyẹn ló dress bí obìnrin tó fi jáde. UK ò ní ti ṣe irú mistake yẹn mọ́ pẹ̀lú any Nigerian politician. If they cannot trust our politician, how do you think they're going to trust the citizen? Mo kí bàbá wa Ọláwálé Àlàbí. The free movement law by the African Union law must be changed to protect the borders. Wàá ṣeré mo ti rí COVID bot. Easy nìyẹn, òun ṣeré ń tiẹ̀. At least ẹni bá ṣà ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó yẹ kó lè ra coffee $5. Thank you so much, my brother. Ẹ má bínú èyí tí ẹ wà níbẹ̀ mú gbọ́dọ̀ lọ pé mo mọ reason tí kí ẹ̀ tó mú. So, in tó sọ níbí báyìí, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Milton Keynes. And happy Sunday to all our brothers and sisters around the world. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti lọ sí church, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣe online services, náà gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni àwọn náà máa ń wò. Àdúrà wa gbà. Mo ní particular pastor kan tẹ́mi náà máa ń tẹ̀lé, bọ́ mo fi dárúkọ wọn nísìn, wọ́n lè ní mo wà bias. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olúwo, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ògbèrè. Mo kí ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí, ìjẹ̀sìn kan ló yẹ kó kàn wá nísìn. We should talk about the future of our performance checkpoint, so that ẹni tó fẹ́ wọlé facial sọ fún pé ẹ má ẹ̀ka ni wọlé o. àti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ àbí kẹjẹ́ kó wọlé ẹ̀yà mú wọlé ìtàn sọ fáwọn èèyàn nìyẹn bá àwọn èèyàn wá ń bínú wọ́n ní bí mi ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn láìkẹ̀ mo ti lè búyàn jù ẹnu mi ò dá kíníkan we don't expect everybody to be the same bí mi ṣe mọ̀ sọ́tọ̀ mi nìyẹn bí ṣe lè sọ tó lè yé yín nìyẹn tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ dé wà excited no problem ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbọ́dọ̀ wà ní Nàìjíríà but àwa tá wà níta àwa náà à ń fèsì tó ń pè ní future checkpoint even as a British passport holder ó sì máa fèsì the same thing tí mo sọ yìí àfi tó bá fẹ́ lọ sí European country a dẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ sáwọn European country because a fẹ́ lọ wo nǹkan tó lọ níbẹ̀ kò ń ṣe pé ká tó wá lọ sí European country ká tó fẹ́ lọ pa gbùrù no àwa náà fẹ́ ní system tiwa níbi pé a máa respect ara wa identification ó wà important prevention of critical situation kí ló ń pè ní critical situation it could happen anytime are we thinking of that future or we are just thinking about ìyí tá a fẹ́ jẹ nísìnyí. Mo kí bàbá wa Loko James, happy Sunday as well. Wasil Taiwo, shout out to you. Login Store and the rest of you on the TikTok. So while we are here, we are not here to knock off our Yoruba politicians, but we are here to tell them that they must understand that there is a future that we are scared of. Kò ṣe nísìn, yes, tó bá tẹ̀ ń rí tàtàtà ṣe tó ń rí jẹ tó ń rí mu. In the midst of crisis, làwọn kan máa ń rí jẹ o. Mo jókòó lé throughout látàárọ̀ mo ti fẹ́ jáde tipẹ́ òmìnira ara ṣáà sometimes you just want to relax ìyàwó mi tún bí mi pé mo ṣe program léni ni àwọn tèmi á máa dúró dè mí àmọ́ ní mo máa ṣe kò tí mo ṣe take time náà ni mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wo èmi náà máa ń lọ sórí YouTube mo wá ń wo àwọn nǹkan tí kò tẹ̀ ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation màá sọ àwọn nǹkan tí mo wò díẹ̀ fún yín mo ń wo ìjà tó ń jà ní Ukraine yẹn mo ń wo oríṣiríṣi analysis mo tún lọ follow BRICS ṣé bàbá àwọn òyìnbó ń fi àwọn Indian rẹ́rìn pé wọ́n lọ sí moon India wọ́n sọ fún wa pé gbogbo owó tẹ jí gbogbo góòlù tẹ jí gbogbo diamond tẹ jí ẹ dá padà fún wa náà ṣé bàbá àwọn òyìnbó wọ́n wà very cunning gan wọ́n ní irọ́ ní India àpapọ̀ òun lọ sí moon regardless of wọ́n débẹ̀ wọ́n débẹ̀ àṣàrí kankan tó ń lọ lókè tá a ṣàrí nínú screen so àwọn òyìnbó yẹn fi ìpá wọn nìkan làwọn special ó fi ìpá wọn special jọ wá lọ ní tó ń dẹ̀ wàhálà lẹ́nu yẹn wọn ò fẹ́ gbà pé àwa náà special being ni wá Ọlọ́run dá wa dáadáa kò mí pé àlejọba wọn ṣe kò mí kódà a lè gba Yorùbá nation kó tún lọ máa represent ààrẹ nínú company kan níta but a nígbà Yorùbá nation fọmọ Yorùbá tó wá máa ń pọ̀ dín ní London I'm talking about the medic job but ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ doctor ó lè wá ṣiṣẹ́ ní London bó ṣé wà wá kúrò nígbà táyà náà bá ní kíá o ta láwọn arúgbó wa ta fẹ́ kó wá bá wọn pọ̀ dín. There's nothing wrong in that. It's a job. But the question is, ẹ wo àwọn tó wọ́n wá láti Nàìjíríà ní sí 40,000 gbogbo aláti rí news yẹn. Àwọn tó san owó tó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ tí wọ́n ríṣẹ́ nígbà tó dé bíbá. A máa sọ̀rọ̀ léra. Mo ń ṣe lórí èmi mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn. Orí bọ́dà ni mo fẹ́ dúró lé. Mo tún ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà. I am asking Nigerians today, can you literally tell us that how long will it take to prevent this atrocity into the borders of the southeast, the middle belt, the north? Táwọn náà ti bá fẹ́ ṣí bọ́dà wọn sílẹ̀, àwọn ò fẹ́ ṣí tiwa sílẹ̀, and that is why we must give kudos to àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Sparky Lizzie. Once again, let's continue. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí, it's just coming up to 25 minutes past 8, and I will open the phone line at some point, but not now. For many times, yes. So as we continue with this prevention of ẹ wo stimulator yẹn ẹ bó ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ the additional of boots relieves the situation. I can see somebody else again on the coffee board. Frank Dudu Mokedada. I can't see who that person is, but whoever that person is, shout out to you and thank you so much. Mokenteba, United Arab Emirates. So again, why is this European and entry system? Calculation of required staff and equipment, comparison of different solutions, increased efficiency and cost optimization. Lóòótọ́ wọ́n náwó nínú Nàìjíríà, wọ́n náwó sí gbogbo border, wọ́n náwó sí this, wọ́n náwó sí that, but kò yọ. The reason why a lot of you don't have a job is because one compromise it. Everybody should be able to get a job in Nigeria because Nigeria is big. As a mama sọ pé àwọn youth for níṣẹ́. How can you come out of the NYSC and you don't have a job? Ó gbọ́dọ̀ níṣẹ́. The job must be there because iṣẹ́ tó bá wà gan gbọ́dọ̀ create iṣẹ́ síbẹ̀. Ibi tí kò bá sí iṣẹ́, a gbọ́dọ̀ create iṣẹ́ síbẹ̀ because we are talking about 200 million people. Báwo la ṣe máa sọ pé òun jáde pọ̀ níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ kò make sense. It's a deliberate act to keep our youth from not getting a job. I'm not talking about Yoruba now. I'm talking about every Nigerian. It's a deliberate act. And it's because we are not one country. Forget about what America is going to tell you. Forget about what Britain is going to tell you. Forget about what the European countries are going to tell you. Nigeria is not a one country. It's a multiple country locked together. Let's continue. Ensuring robustness, and passenger comfort. So they are doing all these so that they can keep everybody on the toe. But the most important reason for this European entry and exit system, known as the EES, next year. So at least koikimedia, so you will not be shocked, even if you have a visa from Nigeria or from any African countries, and because I know people listen to me from other African countries and the Caribbean. So you must prepare your mind that they will take your fingerprint. Let's continue. Mokibabawa Luko James. Small fellow sound to back in it one analysis. There's just a sound that comes out of it. Another solution is the introduction of automated kiosks to back travel to bank parable. I'm talking about UK. I want continue facial yen, but the British passport. You want to back on the day, man, on wọlé lọ nìyẹn. Àwa tó jẹ́ pé à ń bẹ Ọlọ́run nígbà tá a tẹ̀lé 15 years ká tó gbà nǹkan tá a gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn, ara máa tò sẹ́yìn. Ìwọ tó bá ti lọ dẹ́ngẹ̀ lórí flight pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹlòmíì, nígbà tó bá sọ̀kalẹ̀ ló máa rí pé American passport máa lọ́wọ́ àwọn ilé ìkẹ́ àwọn bàbá àlàyé àbí àwọn tó wà ní Singapore passport, Japanese passport, South Korea, àwọn passport ẹ pé tó bá nọ sí immigration báyìí wọ́n bí immigration náà dá kó tutù yẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì a gbé Nigerian passport lé wọn láì ìgbà náà máa tún wá lọ gbé telescope kan bí magnifier bó mọ́ tó máa ń wò níbẹ̀ wọ́n máa wò báyìí a tún wojú ẹ̀ a tún padà báyìí ìgbà míì tó bá wà satisfy wá ní kò jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn tó bá wọn argue jù ṣe rí ọ́fíyàn ní visa kò fún ẹ tó láǹdì ta ló mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé wọ́n fún ẹ ní visa pé kó wọ UK àbí anywhere wọ́n lè dẹ padà ní láti port of entry ibẹ̀ ló burú jáì port of entry ibẹ̀ ló burú jáì àmì fẹ́ni tó ti travel ẹni tó ti wọlé ó mọ̀ pé àwọn ọmọ máa béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ mi ní jàre èmi tí mo ti wọ how long have you lived in UK how long 25 years mo ti wà níbí báyìí láti mọ̀ pé ó gbólógbò lélẹ̀ ilé ti pẹ́ lulẹ̀ tó bá bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni à èmi kan ni máa ń bèèrè lọ́wọ́ mi jẹ́jọ́ pé mo ṣẹ̀ dé ni mo ti miss chicken and chips no fish and chips tó bá ti lè sọ pé o ti miss fish and chips ọmọ àdúgbò lélẹ̀ eléyìí mọ bó ṣe ń lọ but ìwọ tó bá kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́sì wà láì ọmọ àtọ̀sára ni bébí náà ṣe tọ̀sára ni nígbà tí mo dé 1998 wọ́n immigration officer kò ń ṣe pé ó máa bá wọn ó máa disrespect wọn but wàá rí pé ìwọ tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ti wọnú ilé tó ti jáde tó bá bẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ anyhow ìwọ náà ọmọ ṣe sùúrù where you coming from Nigeria how long are you away from 3 weeks. ìdí tó fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá ìwọ ló wà lórí details yẹn ni pé àwa bí ẹni question kan òun ti rí answer lórí system. How long have you been in UK, Mr. Koiki? 25 years. My children are waiting for me, you know. They are waiting for me. Àti mọ̀ pé lè ti pẹ́nu lé. Ìgbà yìí ìwọ náà máa bá sọ̀wọ́ ìwọ náà wọ́n á wá feel comfortable. Kò jẹ́ gbégbà tí mo kọ́kọ́ dé ní 1998 gbogbo tó ń sọ báyìí mo kàn sọ pé yes àti tó yẹ kí n sọ no. Àgbà ìpínlẹ̀ ilé ìyé tension ti wà lára ẹ̀. Lóòótọ́ I want everybody to have the opportunity to travel. But tá a bá ní passport tó gbé wa jáde ní Nigeria passport tó yẹ pé Nigeria jẹ́ ìlú tó jẹ́ ìlú tó kìbí tó dúró dáadáa ni. Ṣebí in the 80s ṣèdá máa ń wọlé pẹ̀lú àbáwọn parents wa ṣe sọ fún wa mọ́mísì tèmi wọlé tó ẹnu ọ̀nà lọ́ọ́ ti lu visa fún wọn kí ló wá dé tó yìí táyé wá dàbí ìgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ pé gbogbo àwa sọnù sometimes you know I don't know how some of you feel ẹ̀ ń fi pé bí ẹ tó dáwà wà níta mo bá ṣe ń feel pé màmá ìyàwó ẹ ò fẹ́ gbé wá London wọ́n wá ní kó lọ gba visa wọ́n wá sọ fún màmá ìyàwó ẹ pé kó lọ Port Harcourt pé bẹ̀rẹ̀ tutù jù pé bí a London you know it's annoying ó dà pé mo bá ṣe ń feel pé for the fact that àwa ní right láti wà nínú ìlú yìí pé mo wá fẹ́ invite wọ wá nísìn mo fọ́kè Abdullahi tó wà ní Dubai nísìn tó bá yẹ pé ibi tí ìlú tó dání Abdullahi ọmọ pàdé mi ní London ní next week ó ràn pọ́n Àṣàkẹ́ máa kọrin èmi ò ní lè lọ ìwọ bá mi lọ record it should be like that bó ṣe láti rí mi ayé yóò gbọdọ̀ lé náà ó ti jẹ́ Àṣàkẹ́ nìkan Àṣàkẹ́ wọ́n mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn fún UK ni ó dà pé yàn ní understanding nìyẹn Wizkid mo gbọ́ tí mo kà lórí I don't know how true lórí Délé Momodu ẹ̀gbọ́n dáadáa ká má sọ nǹkan míì òun àti Ọ̀ṣun state governor wọn ti lẹ̀ pa jù ìyẹn tún bọ̀ láti Rwanda ó tún lọ jẹun nínú ilé Délé Momodu kò ayé náà ni kò sí kọjá dáadáa ó ní 2 something billion ní Àṣàkẹ́ make ní O2 but Àṣàkẹ́ make owó fún Nàìjíríà well I mean not Nigeria in a way but UK gangan ló make owó fún 25 years nínú UK tí bá dijú báyìí máa sọ fún èmi máa ń sọ fún tẹ́mi bá dé tí bá land ó náà kọ́kọ́ tí máa ń sọ fún àwọn immigration officer tí bá ti jù sí báyìí máa pé léyìí inú lélẹ́lẹ́ wà tipẹ́tipẹ́ tí bá sọ fún pé mo rí traffic tó wà lórí M25 pé mo rò pé máa gbẹ́ M25 tí bá ń lọ́lé kódà pé 406 kódà pé máa wọ á ti mọ̀ pé lè ti wà á ti dé tipẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ fún ní sórí kan step brother mi nígbà tó wọ̀ lùi ní years back àwọn ọmọ Malaysia ò kí n travel passport ti Malaysia ó lọ sí many countries apart from Israel wọn ní relationship pẹ̀lú Israel òun wá lọ́kì ó lọ́mọ kan tó gbé kúrò ńbẹ̀ kó tó gbọ́mọ yẹn kúrò lọ́hùn yẹn náà wàhálà ni ó ti gbọ́ èdè pa àti airport ló ti sọ fún ọmọ yẹn pé ṣoṣọ́ọ̀kù fẹ́ tẹ̀lé dúdú jáde tó bá ti tẹ̀lé dúdú jáde àwọn dúdú yóò ń ṣe àwọn tí àwọn ṣe mọ̀ kó bá yẹn ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀n ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn náà gbọ́ èdè dáadáa bí yẹn ṣe dáhùn lónìí yẹn pé ẹyẹ àràsì ìyàwó òun náà àwọn tó ń travel yẹn dẹ̀ ń bí wọ́n tẹ̀ wo document àwọn méjèèjì mọ́ wọ́n tì wọ́n sínú plane pé yín wèrè ẹ máa lọ nígbà tó wá dé airport tó dé London àwọn ilé dẹ̀ ti ka ìtàn pè láwọn òfin kan bó ṣe wá dé London wọ́n bí pé aláyé ìwọ ní visa náà báwo ló ṣe dé bíbá gan láti ibi tó ti ń bọ̀ ó ní visa láti gbé wọnú láti jẹ́ kó wọnú ilé ó náà mọ̀ pé òun ní visa passport ọmọ yẹn ní right láti wọnú UK wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ lu ọmọ yẹn ó wá ń sọ fún wọn pé ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ rí ìṣẹ́rí pé passport ẹ̀ virgin passport ni tó ń pè ní virgin kò ń ṣe virgin obìnrin o passport tó bá travel ẹ jẹ́ kóun mú wọlé kóun ṣàlàyé underground system yìí fún wọn torí pé underground yìí ó wà very tedious ìlú yìí any country náà ni ó lè sọnù nínú underground tó bá travel tó bá dé ìlú yìí gbogbo underground ti máa fi wọ̀nyí yẹn tó bá wọnú train tó bá réyàn mú ẹ jáde wàá kàn máa bá train yẹn lọ ni wàá lọ jáde ládùúgbò ó lè lọ jáde lọ́nà ilé ń dè wàá má káàkiri tó ní mọ̀ àfi tó bá béèrè ọ̀nà wọ́n wá sọ fún pé this is part of immigration border náà ni mo ń sọ yìí o wọ́n wá sọ fún pé ó ní kó jẹ́ kóun wọlé tóun bá ti wọlé tọ́mọ ẹ̀ bá ti settle down òun á jáde padà ọ̀fẹ́ wọn ní Nàìjíríà lélẹ̀ ògbólógbò lélẹ̀ ilé tí mo bó ṣe ń lọ wọ́n dá passport yẹn dúró sínú airport wọ́n ní kó wọlé tó bá ti pé days tọ́mọ ẹ̀ máa jáde because ọmọ ẹ̀ wọ́n sì tún connect lọ sílùú mi mo fi sọ ìlú tó tún lọ pé kóun padà òun àtọmọ yẹn àwọn wá release passport tiẹ̀ fún wọ́n gba passport tiẹ̀ bọ́wọ́ gba tọmọ yẹn the rest I'll leave that for is not for public consumption but what I'm trying to say is that wọ́n mọ̀ pé we are very very especially Yoruba immigration mọ̀ pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé kùrùtù ni wá mọ̀ bọ̀ let's go back to this video again Madilo receipt me for a few minutes boki wale and see once again you're watching a live transmission we are talking about the borders of Yoruba land the borders within Nigeria. How do you think that border can be protected against all kind of criminal activities, from drug barons to child traffickers to smugglers to rapists to whatever you can think of? Ìwọ náà máa ronú pé tí bá lọ dá iléeṣẹ́ sí Ondo State tí wọ́n ní wá jíyàn gbé níjọ́ kan tó sí security. Security is paramount. It does not matter how small it is.
The local government area of the state, we have few cases of illegal possession of firearms, cult activities, house breaking. But in all, as we complete investigations that will end prosecution. Also paraded were two secondary school girls in Oka area of Akoko Southwest local government area of Ondo State, for feigning their abduction. According to him, the two girls demanded ransom from their parents for their release.
Can you imagine? Two young Yoruba girls forging their own kidnapping. Oh yes, Ashake came to London to make money for the UK government, as far as I'm concerned, and himself and the promoters. And yes, our children here love the Nigerian music, so they have the right to go and spend £20, £50, £100 to go and watch Ashake. They're careless. I would love the souls in Nigeria to do the same thing, but it's possible. Moki Yawa Stella, Shoda in the Ekaboma. I mean, how did we get to where Aumowa one self-kidnapping around? Àwọn ilé òtẹ̀ ṣe prostitute. Àwọn tún ń dọ́gbọ́n pé wọ́n I don't know. So what we are saying tonight is not a short term. We are talking about long-term problems. And long-term problems, if care is not taken, it might be more problem. So headlines here. Let's start from 5 days ago. Amotekun is still working in Ondo State. Amotekun arrests 9 kidnappers and 22 others in Ondo State. This is 5 days ago. In 2023, ní May 10, Amotekun arrests 2 suspects. In 2022, Amotekun arrests 45. So Amotekun is working, but we need to enhance them. We need to give them whatever is needed so that they can be able to have this kind of very, very sophisticated, automated system. But if the federal could protect Tisale, how do you expect the state to do so? So let's see if we can find one more video surrounding that, this smart border. Let's just watch one more and then we must start opening. EU border control to launch entry. Okay, let's see this one again. So let's watch this one. I'll cover one more video. So let's watch the next video.
New border management system next year. EU's new entry-exit system is a security upgrade that will require non-EU visitors, including British nationals not covered by the withdrawal agreement, to be
including the British. So only British passport
electronically verified upon entry and exit at EU borders. In this video, we will talk about how the modern border security system works and how it would change the way travellers visit the EU. But first, we want to thank you for joining us. Find us on all the other social media channels. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell to get notified when we release a new video. We also appreciate your likes and comments below, as it helps to support our channel. Oh, and don't forget to check out our website at immigrationandmigration.com. This video is brought to you by IAM. We believe that travel improves and inspires you. And
but traveling inspires you. About travel, your states me, states me. I'm talking about within Yoruba land. We have oríṣiríṣi ọbẹ̀, oríṣiríṣi delicacy, culture wa too beautiful. Láàárín ara wa nìyẹn, ká má ti wá sọ pé tó wá travel lọ abroad.
People around you. We help you travel by providing services which overcome barriers and frameworks that simplify and enrich your experience. We just happen to be immigration there, or already on one. There is a change coming up for travel in and out of the European Union that third country nationals, such as Americans, British and Canadians, need to be aware of.
Africa.
A new EU system requiring fingerprints and facial...
Requiring... Okay, Grandma Felicia, okay, DJ Sono. I don't want them to take my fingerprint, then you might not have to travel within that side of the world.
Daddy.
Yeah?
Mommy.
Okay, I'm coming.
Imaging is set to be introduced next year. This would mean a slight change to travel in and out of the EU and Schengen zone for many. The Automated European Entry-Exit System, or EES, require biometric data to be collected for all non-EU arrivals. This doesn't change anything in terms of the visas or documents required for travel or the rights of travelers, but it does change how the EU's external borders are policed. It's essentially a security upgrade, replacing the current system that relies on border guards with stamps, with an electronic swipe-in or swipe-out system that will register more details such as immigration status. This system is for the EU's external borders, so it doesn't apply if you are travelling between Spain to France, but would apply if you enter any EU or Schengen zone country from a non-EU country, such as travelling from the UK to France, or flying into France from the US. Instead of border guards checking passports and stamping where applicable, there will be an electronic screening of some passports at the border.
So, what you are watching right now, now that Nigeria does not have the capacity to put this across all our borders, land border, water, and whichever border anybody wants to walk through. But we have a system that is deliberately to keep us below par. Our if we are in that side, because we want to know who among us are criminals. Not to talk about àwọn tó fẹ́ wọlé. So watching this kind of video, I don't want to play a lot of it. We watched at least about 3 minutes, even though there was so many adverts in front of it, which is not what we wanted anyway, but it's okay. You can tell that the world is changing and nobody's going to wait for anybody. So coming back again to the article, EES will contribute to prevent irregular migration, help protect the security of the European citizens. The new system will also help bona fide third country nationals to travel more easily, while also identifying more efficiently overstayers, as well as cases of document and identity fraud. In addition to these, the system will enable to make a wider use of automated border control checks and self-service systems, which are quicker and more comfortable for travelers. Background: EES is among the measures undertaken as part of the Security Union and will help achieve the objectives of the European Agenda on Security, European Agenda on Migration. Ṣé pé two things. So àwa náà láti máa ronú pé Yoruba Agenda on Security, Yoruba Agenda on Migration, now and the future. In particular, regarding border management and preventing cross-border crime and terrorism. Ṣé pé this background is exactly why we are saying our presence in Nigeria is not worth it. Eléyìí nìkan lásán. This particular background. Àwa ló yẹ káwa náà máa ronú bẹ́ẹ̀ pé Yoruba Agenda on Security, Yoruba Agenda on Migration, in particular regarding border management, preventing cross-border crime and terrorism. Mo wá ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lálẹ́, èwo lẹ prefer níbẹ̀? Do you prefer the Nigeria that cannot protect you? Or do you prefer where the Yoruba can be in control? Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan táwọn Fúlàní sọ fún Governor Akeredolu ìyẹn ní 2021. Akeredolu mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ create Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Ṣé Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yẹn ṣé ààrí tán mọ́mọ́ Yorùbá nísìn? Ṣé nínú nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ nínú news tá gbọ́ nísìn? A rí now, but at the end of the day, there's little your governors can do when it comes to crime in Yoruba land. There's little they'll be able to achieve when it comes to crime in Yoruba land. So we're going to open the phone line just briefly because this program always is 3 hours and we have run 2 hours. I will allow calls to come through now for those of you that wants to add to your own understanding of what we are discussing. But one thing is, if we refuse to act now, it will come back and bite every one of us. Whether we agree together, whether we are disagreeing because of one reason or the other, in life, we are meant to agree and disagree, especially in the case of this agitation. The right to self-determination is not a crime. But the question people are asking is, ọ̀nà wo lẹ fi gbà láti fi gba in tí ẹ fi gbà ẹ̀? The next video is what Baba Akintoye spoke about. Every time tí bàbá bá wá sọ̀rọ̀, I try to capture some areas so that video tí a ṣe tó gùn, ẹ ní lè capture gbogbo ẹ̀ fẹ́ni tó lè wò tán. Ẹ rí pé mo yọ bí méjì, mo dẹ̀ yọ audio mẹ́ta jáde. Fáyìn tí ẹ ti bá audio yẹn pàdé. Àwọn audio yẹn mo make sure pé kò ju 30 minutes lọ. But eléyìí tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí bí alára àwọn fídíò kan tí a ti ṣe tí mo ti cut tí mo fi máa lò as part of our presentation all the time. Just a reminder, ẹ lè má nífẹ̀ẹ́ bàbá yẹn, ẹ lè disagree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, which I see the other part playing that kind of nonsense. But one thing is, he stood for the Yoruba people and he has still kò tí bọ́lẹ̀. Ó sì sọ pé, if you think you can fix Nigeria, let's listen to this and then we come back. Oh, sorry. Did I move the video? It looks like the video has been moved. It's not playing. Bear with me. All right, we will prepare that maybe for another program because I don't know where that video will be if I have moved it from my own external hard drive. But let's listen to another person that warned us that Nigeria is in a big mess. Mokia Tony Ages. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
It's not about sentiment. Is that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that listen to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than an individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go.
And as a fact, Buhari will come and go. Tinubu has come and he will go. Tinubu cannot be the emperor tó máa wà níbẹ̀ forever. Tinubu ń ṣe ọba. Ọba ló máa wà níbẹ̀ títí tọ́ba máa fi wàjà. So tẹ́ bá ní kíá nípa Yorùbá agenda for self-determination, it's understandable, it's okay. Tinubu máa wá, ó máa lọ. But the question is, after Tinubu, what next? Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Tinubu bá ṣe tán, what is going to happen? Gbogbo agenda tó bá gbé sílẹ̀, gbogbo plans tó bá ṣe, in the process pé ó wà níbẹ̀ as a president láti change nǹkan, láti jẹ́ kí nǹkan kó dáa, láti jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó jẹ́ àwùjọ ẹgbẹ́ fún gbogbo àgbáyé. My question is, how is that going to work? I believe there's a program that is meant to kickstart from 8 o'clock, which is about an hour earlier, that I should have been able to join. That is the launching of the Yoruba. I don't know. I think that must have started already anyway. So we'll see if we can connect to that in just about a few minutes. Bear with me while I look into that particular situation. As we can say, there's a lot happening in Yoruba land. As we are preparing for that, I will again say, so what I'm going to do, I might have to turn the camera here because I want to walk a little bit from that side. No, I want to bring the camera to me here. So let me bring the camera to me for now. So bear with me. I'm going to bring it down to me like this, just temporarily while I walk on something from behind. So I want to follow what is happening there. So bear with me for now. So let's go back to this video.
Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem and will not add value. But he will come and go, and somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society, the damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, APC, before they chose within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented. And it should not be allowed to be swept under the carpet because the damage to the psyche of this country is monumental. We'll talk.
Well, you've just been listening to the former Commodore Olakunle Olawumi. I want us to we'll open the phone line, like I said, in just about a few minutes from now. But I want us to follow this again. This particular one is not a new video. It's Chief Tola Adeniyi. Mo fẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ gbọ́n kan tí bàbá yẹn náà sọ. It's about a few minutes, but let's enjoy this. I'll come back again.
They drink, they fornicate. They do all the things that all human beings do. So it's not a question of religion. There's no question of anybody being truly a Muslim there. You know, even I knew a chief judge who was supposed to be leading Muslim prayers, who anytime he came to me in my official residence, would put brandy or whiskey in a mug and they'll be drinking and they will smoke and all that. So I don't think it's religion. When they started this Sharia, how many of them are obeying the Sharia? How many of them? No, not none of their leaders. So it's not religion per se, but they use religion to deceive people and say, Hausas were not Muslims at all. So they say, well, let's give you a superior religion, we'll give you Islam. But that didn't apply to the South because we've had Muslims in Yoruba land even before 14th century.
So truly what we are fighting against, or what is going on, is clash of culture.
And civilizations.
And civilizations.
That's right.
Not really the Fulani versus the Igbo or the Fulani versus the Yoruba.
No.
It's clash of civilizations.
Yes, clash of civilizations and clash of cultures. Yes, you're right.
That means we have not really integrated as a people.
Never. We have never been.
So the word the Nigerian people is a fallacy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because, again, in those days, you will say, there have always been Igbo markets, Hausa markets in Enugu. There have always been Sabos in Shagamu. But those Sabos were occupied by Hausas. Hausas are peaceful people. We traded in Kolanot. We did even the few Fulanis that came with them at that time, when you had a Sabo in Shagamu or in Ibadan here, they would still look for one Fulani man and make him their Seriki.
How did the Hausa accept
they were subdued. They were subdued.
Despite their large number.
Yes, they were subdued. Of course, they killed, they ruined, they extirpated their 7 kingdoms. They killed their 7 rulers and took over under the guise of religion. Another thing they used, they used the word corruption. Oh, your people are corrupt. We are saints. Your people are corrupt. They've always used the word corruption to deceive people.
But the jihad is over. How come the Hausa man is yet to claim that Hausaness again?
It's just now that the efforts we are making in the South have begun to yield fruits. You will be surprised to hear that now in Hausa land, we now have Hausa Christians. Never had that before. Never. You now have Middle Belt Forum that are saying we are not Northerners, we are Middle Belters. We are not Northerners. Don't call us Northerners. Now, when you see a Jukum man or you see a Lantan man and you say you are Hausa or you are Fulani, he will be angry. He may even draw his dagger. Don't call me Fulani. I'm not Fulani. I'm not Hausa. What we did not know until recently is that when you call a Fulani man Hausa, he will be angry. He will say Banzani. Because he knows that I'm superior to Hausa. Can you say I'm Hausa? But before now, before Buhari came to establish his suzerainty over Nigeria, we lumped all of them together for Northerners. And like I wrote some 4 years ago, there's no North. There's no North that we used to know. The North is dead. There's nothing called North anymore.
So there's a Fulani now standing on his own.
He's standing on his own. There's no more North. If they try any war today, oh God of mercy. The kind of cohesion you had in the army, the military in 1966, will never happen again in this country, if there is a country at all. You will not find a Hausa soldier now, an Igbo soldier going to Enugu to kill a fellow Igbo. You will not even find an Igbo soldier coming to Ibadan to kill a Yoruba man, or a Yoruba soldier going to Enugu to kill an Igbo man. It will not happen again. So the Lantan people, the Benue people will never ever allow themselves to be used by any Fulani mischief maker.
So if I'm getting you right, your argument is that the Fulani hegemony has been broken.
Dead.
If the Fulani hegemony has been broken,
yes,
does it mean that the social structure of Nigeria is about to witness a very hard hit that will lead to a new Nigeria?
Yes, for those who agree with you to the extent of the fact that there are still some people who want a Nigeria, a group that I don't belong to. But for such people, yes, with the weakening of Fulani hegemony, there could be a Nigeria that will integrate the Suba Fulanis, the town Fulanis, and still reconstruct, rebuild, and then have a Nigeria that should be. But I, as a person, as Tola Deni, believe that it will take probably 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person.
Now, that is always the key point of this video. So when people say we should manage Nigeria, we should try to integrate with each other. Kashishe Papo, Muki Alaja, Sherifat, Agbabiaka. Is it possible that Orotiba Bai soy that it will take 1,000 years? Do you know what that 1,000 years means? That means we have 100 years, 100 years. 100 years is 1 decade. So, Kate Sokwe, I am the 4th generation in my own family, or even the 5th. Baba to be Baba mi. Kate Sokwe meji, Baba. Then the second one, wa bi Baba temi. Baba temi náà tí wá bí èmi. Èmi náà tuntun bí àwọn ẹlòmíì àti pé márùn. So even after another 500 years from now ni mo sọ you, I am the 5th. So even if we have to wait another 500, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, tàbá ṣe padà wá jókòó, èmi á ti lọ nígbà yẹn. Generation tèmi náà bí á ti lọ. It will be another generation. After that exactly 1,000 years, they change mindset on Fulani. So why then should we continue to force ourselves to want to be together? That is 10th generation, Benny, Mr. Sunday. A mini 5th generation. So that means pé you know they work in 5th generation, not on. Mokin Sanjo, Eunice, how are you doing, my sister? How are you? Happy Sunday to you and the family. Mokin gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́gbọ́n tí bàbá yẹn sọ. Ó ní in 1,000 years, bàbá tún jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn Fúlàní a lè jọ ṣe. So kí la wá ń force ara wa pé ká jọ ṣe? Nísìn, kí la wá fi ń force ara wa? Kò ju pé torí pé àwọn West ń sọ fún wa pé living together in harmony. Gbogbo problem tá bá jọ ní ká jọ resolve ẹ̀, ká jọ yanjú ẹ̀ láàrin ara wa. And this is becoming a big problem, from the borders to the security, to the migration, to food security, to identification security. Because it's this fraudsters ni wa olè ní gbogbo wa is because of that name, that entity, that brand tó ń pè ní Nigeria. So if we have to wait another 500 years, èmi á ti lọ. Àwọn generation àwọn kan máa mo ní great grandfather mi Mr. Koiki àwọn orí tó pariwo Yorùbá nation but ó jẹ́ kó wáyé ó jẹ́ kó ṣe àwọn Yorùbá kan náà wọ́n fẹ́. Ìwọ náà ti lọ. Ìwọ tèmi àtẹjọ ń disagree, gbogbo wa máa ti lọ. Whether Nigeria favours you, it doesn't favour you. Whether it favours me, it doesn't favour me. Whether some people are doing very well in it or not, we will all be gone. But àwọn Fúlàní, Baba Chief Toladeni sọ pé in 1,000 years from today, ìjókòó wa kò lè mú any result jáde. Let's listen to that particular part again. I'm going to play it again.
Town Fulanis and still reconstruct, rebuild, and then have a Nigeria that should be. But I, as a person, as Toladeni, believe that it will take probably 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person whose philosophy is kill, maim, rape, send away people from their land and let me occupy it.
Is that not what is happening? Even though it's happening in a smaller stages, we have seen evidence base across what is known as Nigeria today. We are even seeing their governors in the north pleading on their behalf while they are saying that IGBOHO has committed a crime. The way they projected, Oloye IGBOHO is like, ó ti commit a crime kan tí a rí rí. But we saw that the governors in the north are asking Bola Tinubu, this present government, to look into dialogue with those that are killing us, destroying livelihood, migrating into our territory, creating havoc, wọ́n plead on their behalf. Whereas Igboho wà níbẹ̀, mo ń béèrè pé ṣé criminal ni Igboho ni? Offence wo ni Igboho ṣe? Tí kò bá ń ṣe pé Talon òun lo common sense pé no, evidence tó wà níwájú òun yìí kò show pé arákùnrin tẹ́ ń sọ yìí ẹlẹ́wọ̀n ni, criminal ni, apààyàn ni. But in tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà tó fẹ́ rope mọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ ni pé ó fẹ́ lo ilé ẹ̀ láti fẹ́ fi àkáàkì federal government, whereas nínú Nàìjíríà we have evidence based that military ti compromise. Àti gbọ́ tí Danjuma sọ, àti gbọ́ tí bàbá Wọlé Ṣóyínká sọ, àti gbọ́ tí bàbá Ọlákúnlé Ọláwùmí sọ. Evidence is there pé Igboho did not do what they are saying that he has done, but wọ́n gbé Igboho as a criminal, wọ́n wá line ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn terrorists. Talon wá ní no. Eléyìí right. Thank you, Eunice. Eléyìí make sense. Eléyìí work out. Nítorí pé ẹ̀yin lẹ wọnú ilé, lẹ pa Àdògán, ẹ pa Alhaji Fatai, ẹ pa àwọn méjèèjì sínú ilé ẹ̀. Títí di bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, federal government ò tí release body àwọn méjèèjì tí mò ń sọ yìí. Federal government ò tí release ẹ̀ fún wa. Òkú àwọn méjèèjì ṣì wà lọ́rùn federal government. Mo kí ẹ ìjáyà. So àwọn West kẹrẹ ibi táwọn ti fẹ́ jẹ làwọn wá. Mo ti rí tí American representative ti wá sí Nàìjíríà. Ó wá bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀. Tinubu lòun ń delay ECOWAS láti lọ àtàkì Niger. Bóun ti fún wọn láyè. Dizzy máa sọ pé Yorùbá agenda on migration, security and prevention of cross-border associated crimes in Yoruba land through using new technology. Imagine tó bá yẹ pé Talon òun náà listen sí Buhari, probability wà pé wá ti extract Igboho padà lọ sí Nàìjíríà. But nítorí pé Talon ni wo ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, ó gbé yẹ̀wò pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo gan ni ẹni arákùnrin yìí ṣe, ẹ kọ́kọ́ fún wa ní evidence. DSS kó evidence wá, àwa náà gba lọ́ọ̀yà sí Benin Republic, wọ́n jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. Nígbà tó kì í ṣe kangaroo court ti Nàìjíríà, bó ṣe di Nnamdi Kanu mú, nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín lè má like àwọn Igbo lóòótọ́, but in tí Nigerian government lọ ṣe yẹn, in tó ń pè ní international crime gangan ni. Tó bá mọ̀ pé rendition, lọ́wọ́ fún mi ní dictionary rendition. Wọ́n kidnap ẹ ní. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ ní interest, okay, kí ló dé tí Amẹ́ríkà wá kidnap Abba Kyari? Amẹ́ríkà lè kidnap ẹ̀. Kọ́dẹ̀ bọ́ndúlẹ̀ kọ́ gbé lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà. But wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn ò lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Kí ló ṣe? Wọ́n béèrè fún ìtàn pè ní extra. Pé àwọn fẹ́ extract ẹ̀ lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà, but wọ́n kọ́kọ́ lọ sí court wa ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Abba Kyari nísìn wọ́n ti fún ní bail. Ẹ wá ní kí Ìgbòho kó wá lọ bẹ government nítorí pé kí government má bàa bínú pé ó ṣẹ̀ ni. Adẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀daràn tó ń lọ láàrin ìlú lójoojúmọ́ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ tó ń jíyàn gbé. Economic wise, àwọn ti destroy economy yìí. You don't have to believe it. Ṣèbí gbogbo yín náà lẹ́ sọ pé iye kan ní Dangote ń ta cement ní Nàìjíríà, iye kan ló ń ta ní Benin Republic. Kí ló dé tí ó ṣe ń ta less níta tó ń ta wọ́n fún yín nínú ilé? Kí ló dé tó ń ṣe monopoly? Ẹ rò pé Fúlàní inú igbó nìkan là ń sọ ni, òun gan fúnra rẹ̀ Fúlàní ti ta tó ń destroy economy. Ṣé mọ̀ pé dọ́là tóun gbà through central bank òun ló jẹ́ kí reserve yín kó drop wálẹ̀. Now àwọn Yorùbá wá ní gbogbo ilé tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn ẹ máa ṣe sùúrù náà ni, ẹ jẹ́ kí Tinubu ṣe tiẹ̀ tán, ẹ má disturb ẹ̀ torí pé nígbà tí Buhari wà ń bẹ̀ ṣé à disturb Buhari? Ṣé nígbà tí Buhari wà níbẹ̀ à lọ jágbe mọ́ Buhari? Àwọn kan wá ń béèrè pé but ọ̀nà owó lẹ máa gbà lẹ máa fi débẹ̀ nítorí pé bomb bastard kan òun sọ fún yín pé òun ti gba country. I laugh. Tẹ́ bá follow in tó ń pè ní yes, there's no rules of engagement. Because as we speak today, the world is changing. It's changing very fast. Bí a lè mọ̀ pé Iran àti Saudi Arabia wọ́n máa ṣe papọ̀ nísìn, whether they like it or not, under BRICS. America ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Iran àti Saudi kọjọ ṣe papọ̀. But the world is changing today. So that means that America àti Iran, they are now going to work together on BRICS. 6 countries have now joined. That makes them 11 from next year. That is about 30% of the global world. Wọ́n dẹ̀ náà wọ́n nílò dọ́là mọ̀ láàrin wọn. They will be able to borrow themselves loan within their own currency. A máa ṣe program mi lé lórí, mo fi mix ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ border tí mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé nírọ̀lẹ́. So the question is, kò ń ṣe pé border wa tó wà porous ló gbé Ìgbòho jáde pé àwọn tó ń wọlé yìí ṣe àjọ̀nú ni wọ́n ni. Aṣáàrí wọn tó ń wọlé, mo kí bàbá wa Ayọ̀ rẹ̀, mo kí ẹ̀ tó bí mi lọ́mọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. So when those of you that come in and say, gbogbo eléyìí náà la mọ̀, but ká wá máa fi ẹ̀tàn sílẹ̀, ká máa wá irọ́ nítorí pé kíni, nítorí pé ẹ fẹ́ feel pé torí ọmọ Yorùbá ló wà níbẹ̀. That means pé we must tone down, we must be very careful. Ká má upset Tinubu. Who the hell is Tinubu? Tinubu is just a public figure as far as we're concerned. He's a public figure. Ẹni tó bá ti gbé rẹ̀ jáde pé public figure lòun, he will be able to come and talk to us. In tá à ń béèrè fún, kò tí ì sọ pé akóbọn síta, àìtí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bára wa jà. All we are asking for is let us sit down and talk. Àwọn kan nínú ọ̀nà tọ́kì kọ́ la máa fi gbà. Àwa ti make a declaration wa, a máa gbé ìjọba interim jáde, mo ní rọlọ́npa. Nothing of such can come out. They know that. And they know that. We are challenging them. They know that that is a lie. Nothing of such is going to come out. They can live in denial. They can make themselves feel excited. They can feel happy within that confinement of Inubiti Bugwawai. But the reality gone is not on the social media. Social media is very easy. Social media is very easy. But we are talking about evidence that IGBOHO was on the ground, pushing and making the voice of the Yoruba people to be heard in a very, very constructive way like this. This is what was giving them the concern. That crowd, that energy will unseat any government, no matter how powerful they are. It has been done before. This kind of energy, tí a capture, tí a gbé síta, with this kind of energy, one more way, it will unseat any government, even up to the federal government. Let's continue to monitor development in Niger. Àwọn ará Niger ti fún French embassy, firstly the ambassador have been told to exit. France ní kò ní lọ. Mo fẹ́ wo bí ó máa lọ bí kò ní lọ. I will be able to confirm that tomorrow. Bí ó lọ àbí kò lọ. Ìyẹn number one. Àwọn aráàlú ti sọ fún àwọn ará base French tó ń bẹ ní Niger pé àwọn fún wọn ní 10 days kó fi kó gbogbo ara àwọn kúrò. If not, wọ́n ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ta sílẹ̀ lóòótọ́, but àwọn ready láti fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn sílẹ̀ káwọn penetrate ibẹ̀. So wọ́n mọ̀ pé irú energy tí Igboho gbé jáde. Thank you so much for the coffee board. Triple DRX ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa ní Woolwich. Wọ́n mọ̀ dáadáa pé irú energy. But káwọn kan wá sọ pé Ọlọ́run ti bá wa make a declaration yẹn. Àti declare nítorí pé bàbá Akíntóyè ò tí declare. You are all stupid. I repeat it again. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi tẹ́ bá think in that direction. You are stupid. Ní common sense. Làákàyè yín ó kúrú. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ lè control crowd. Lẹ́nu ẹ fẹ́ gbé ìjọba interim jáde. Ṣé fẹ́ lọ gbé wanga tó máa wá bá yín defend that interim. Bí àwọn ẹlẹ́ṣẹ́ need wọ́n mi ẹmọ etí àwọn Wagner ẹmọ etí wọ́n bíìlì àwọn country kankan tó ń jà fún. Ẹ rò pé owó kékeré ni. Ẹ rò pé $1 million ló fi ń gba mercenaries. Do you think it's $1 million? Mo kí sister mi, aunty mi dáadáa David. Kentos àbẹ̀bí mo kí our Grace. So even tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ fíìpù ẹ fẹ́ lọ áyà àwọn kan pé kọ́ wá bá yín defend that adele àbí whatever tẹ́ ń pera yín pẹ́ fẹ́ gbé jáde. So you think that you have the crowd that would also support you. Àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà tó kàn ń pariwo tó ń pè sórí program yìí ìtọ́kọ̀ lè máa ṣe náà nìyẹn. Àwọn tí tẹ́ pé wọ́n wà relevant gan sẹ́ on the ground as relevant as Igboho and Baba Akíntóyè. So they know that these are the two people that will make the change lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. Àwọn ọba gan mọ̀ kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún mi mo gbọ́ létí ni mo jókòó mo gbọ́ tó ń sọ tí mo bá tẹ̀ gbọ́ tí gbogbo èèyàn pátápátá ẹ lè sọ pé mo ò rí ikú bàbá yèyé. It's not for public consumption. Mo mọ tí gbogbo ọba ibi tí gbogbo wọn line up sí, but like I said, it's not for public consumption. Ìwọ ṣáà rí wọn so èmi lè mi rí wọn. Kò rẹ̀ ń ṣe meeting nínú palace láti lọ rí wọn. In his private residence. Kódà ó tún láwọn ibìkan ta tún lọ tó ń ṣe nínú private proper residence wọn. Because ó níbi tó ríṣi tó níbi tó ọba tó máa ń lò sí. Kò ń ṣe nǹkan, kò ń ṣe méjì, kò ń ṣe mẹ́ta, kò ń ṣe mẹ́rin tó jẹ́ pé láàrin èmi àti Ìgbòho nìkan lábàá pẹ̀lú ikú bàbá yèyé. Láàrin tẹ bá jẹ́ pé lọ́mọ pa àwọn ìpàdé kan ta lọ ẹ lọ béèrè pé lọ́wọ́ bàbá Akéwùgbà Gold pé ṣé Kóìkì wà lórí ìjókòó àbí kò sí lórí ìjókòó. Ṣèbí bàbá yẹn wà ní Ìbàdàn. Bàbá yẹn wà nínú àwọn ìpàdé bíi méjì kan tájọ wà lórí ìjókòó. Bàbá Akéwùgbà Gold báwọn kan wà tí kò sí lórí ìjókòó pẹ̀lú wa. Mo mọ ibi tí gbogbo àwọn ọba wa gbogbo wọn là ń sọ fún pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́yìn ó máa wá kan gbogbo wa because we have a border where wọ́n lè invade the palace ọba. Security mélòó lọ́ba ní? Mo wo gbogbo security ìgbà tá lọ yes àní àwọn nǹkan tó ń pè ní ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé wa but àwọn táwọn bá sọ yìí náà ẹrù káwọn náà ní tiwọn tó ń lò. Ṣòtá bá sọ pé mo kí bàbá wa Ọláṣílẹ̀ Àrẹ̀mú. Ṣòtá bá ń sọ pé àwa náà ní nǹkan àwọn náà ní nǹkan tó ń lò ẹrù káwọn Fúlàní náà ní nǹkan tó ń lò ní. So we are talking about the future of the palace to be protected. Ṣẹ̀fí ìpọ̀lọ́pàá nìkan ló ń gáìdì Buckingham Palace ni spiritually wọ́n ń gáìdì bẹ̀. Spiritually mo sọ fún yín ṣé nígbà tí Queen kú ẹ̀rí tó ń mú ègúnfe dání nígbà tí King Charles fẹ́ jọba ẹ̀rí pé ó jókòó sórí òkúta kí lẹ́rọ̀ pọ́n fi gbogbo yẹn ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣe nì. So kẹ́yìn kan wá máa sọ pé ọ̀nà wo ni bàbá Akíntóyè kí ló dé tí ó rí pé bàbá Akíntóyè tí make a declaration Dagboru to make a declaration ìyẹn ti wọ authentic. I think some of you do not understand the reality on the ground. Nítorí bá àwọn mídíà wọn ni kó máa sọ ó lè sọ̀rọ̀ títí dọ̀la ọba ṣe marathon kọ́ ṣe marathon kò mátà. Ẹni tí Tinubu mọ̀ pé àwọn tí wọ́n lead Yorùbá nation òun ni Ìgbòho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè. Ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ the importance of these two people when it comes to bringing out the crowd that will be needed to shut down the government if it's needed. They know. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé the crowd ṣé crowd yẹn lè fẹ́ fi gba Yorùbá nation? You make a declaration, and in almost a year, it has not carried any water. Emma Fawash excuse. You'll be all stupid and idiot to be using us as excuse. Anytime someone wants to say, policy, but back into the one life, me say again, the man is live. He's still speaking at 88. Baba who anita lanu on ba wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ó wà níta no kò wà ní jẹta ọ̀ràn Dr. Kebe ọ̀run kò sí. Baba Akintoye is live. Mo wà lórí Zoom yẹn ní mo commute ẹni. Èèyàn kan wá ní òun lòun máa kó gbogbo Yorùbá, òun máa kó yín lọ sí ìjọba kinní kan. And some people accept and believe that nonsense in 2023. I can't believe that. It shows the myopic thinking of this kind of people. If you play video game I'm playing. Do you think it's a video game? If you play Nintendo, if you play Monopoly, I love Monopoly. I play it in the house all the time. If you play Monopoly, I'm playing Thomas Tirale. Factually, Mura Western. Lori Monopoly. What the Woloni Western? Mura Bakasi Park. I don't think some of you understand what we are dealing with. By understanding it, you will all start thinking. We're not interested whether you come back to us or not. You're not an issue. But we are talking about something that is very, very important. And I just laugh each time I look at them. Ìgbòho sínlé gbogbo tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lé ní nísìn in terms of all the atrocities in the last 2 years. Is that not why Ìgbòho is crying and saying that we must all fall back? Mo mọ bí táwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re sọ̀rọ̀ sí. Kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún mi, mo wà lórí ìjókòó ni. Kódà tún délé bàbá yẹn níjẹ̀bú Igbó. Bàbá wa Payọ̀ Adébánjọ. But it's about us that we have to be serious. Kò ń ṣe pé kẹ́yìn kan, every idiot yẹn tó fẹ́ à ń ṣe program lánàá. That idiot who wants a question, stupid question. Ìyá tẹ́ ní background ẹ̀. Tí a lè sọ pé background ẹ̀ báyìí ló ṣe rí. But because you all live in denial. I don't know whether people have been calling because the line, I've been using this phone. So Instagram, I think I have to, because I did say we're going to take calls and it's even almost 3 hours anyway. So, and we're almost going to end the program. So probably maybe we'll take calls tomorrow. I did say we're going to take calls, but it seems another. So as we winding down, yes, Eunice, you're right. Living in a world of illusion. Even the Biafra that we can see evidence-based. Do you know that Biafra have not said they've made a declaration yet? But they have what they call government in exile. How you can see the evidence of that government in exile. At least, if I want to speak to their information minister, I know who is the information minister because all the information is on their website, is on their Twitter. And they are playing their Pastor Gbola. And sọ̀rọ̀ realistic ní níbà. And sọ̀rọ̀ Nintendo game. Even Nintendo game, to put it together, it takes a lot of work. But it's unfortunate that some of you, it does not matter how you are thinking, how you are looking at it, pé ìyá ìmá ó máa perform magic, kò lè perform any magic, gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ ní bíbá. Ṣèbí ojú ló ń pọ̀ yín, ojú ò kọ́ wà, because we are still on the right track. Scotland is still on the right track. Wales is still on the right track. There are 44 members of the United UNPO that are still asking for the right to self-determination. So there's nothing wrong. That by take back country. But we are still on the right track and we are pushing every resources in terms of educating, most importantly, those that still believe in the government. Ó dà ń pé tí mo tán pè ní country. Ó dà ń pé family problem yìí lè fi pé à ń resolve. You are all living in a big illusion. She's a fraudster. She's a scammer. She's a 419. She knows that. She will fade away. It's just with time. Ṣebí ojú ló ń pọ́n yín pé kó gbé wọlé kí ẹ lè fi sọ fáwa pé ọ̀ọ́bí wa à ń dúró. Ó dà pé Ìbàdàn lẹ́nà fẹ́ gbé lọ àbí à ń dúró. Ìgbòho kàn gbé rálì jáde lásán. Federal government ó gbé gbogbo machinery ọ̀fẹ́ fi eliminated. Ẹ̀yin wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé kó máa jáde. Bí Wagner lẹ fẹ́ lò ní à ń dúró dè yìí. Bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ olóòdẹ kan tẹ́tí lọ train nílùú kan lẹ fẹ́ gbé wá. We are waiting. We're gonna wait and see. But ẹ̀yin lẹ máa wà under pressure. Ìyá 2x2. Ìwọ ló máa wà under pressure. I was under pressure. But what we are saying is, at the appropriate time, things itself will change. Because you came to divide the movement. I know some of you don't want to accept that. Some of you don't want to believe that. But with time, I get messaging. Ojú ló ń kọ́ ìbòjì, òun ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀. But ẹni tẹ́ rí lẹ́yìn mi, president yìí gan mọ̀ pé no be joke. Ẹ má yẹ kí n exaggerate. Ẹ lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ Ọbásanjọ́. He has the numbers behind him any day, any time. Tí kò tí change, figure yẹn ò tí change rárá. Figure tí Ìgbòho lè control in terms of the crowd kò dínkù. Tẹ́ bá rò pé bóyá ìtẹ̀wá ṣe ẹ dínkù crowd yẹn. No. And three things happen to a freedom fighter. It's either you are a dead man or a dead woman. It's either you are in the prison or it's either you are in exile. Ìkànnì mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta ni. Ọmọ aládìkún kò tí ì sí bàbá ẹni náà. Mo mọ tí ikú bàbá yèyé sọ tí kò ń ṣe fún public consumption. Ẹ máa gbìyànjú ni. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé òun ni the voice. But wọ́n fi pa voice yẹn ni. Ṣẹ̀rí pé tí kò bá sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ mọ ohun tó ń rò. Tó bá sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ multiply ẹ̀, but ẹ lè get the result ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ. Gbogbo wọn ní pátápátá, àtàwọn olórin, àtàwọn actors, àtàwọn actresses, àtọmọ school, àti kò ṣọmọ school, gbogbo wọn lọ́mọ̀ pé òun gangan ni the voice. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ the voice, tẹ́ bá ní disagree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, you're wasting your energy. 2x2, ó kàn waste time yìí ni. She's playing the mind game. Mind game dẹ̀ ló dangerous jù. Gbogbo nǹkan sọ kò dé anywhere. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n make call kí n kàn pé Ìgbòho ní sí pé bàbá ṣàlàáfíà lẹ́wà. Ẹ rí ọ́díò yẹn lásán lọ́ máa kọ́ ní gbogbo fídíò tí mo ṣe. But I don't have to abuse such opportunity. If I call him right now, he will pick my call. Màá dẹ̀ sọ fún wọn pé mo wà lórí show, ẹ bá ń kí àwọn èèyàn. But I don't have to do that. Amẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni. Ojú ló ń pọ́n ẹ̀yìn, ojú ò pọ́n àwà. Ìjọba Tinubu come and go bí ti Buhari náà ló máa rí. Ìjọba Tinubu come and go bí ti Jonathan. Ìjọba Tinubu come and go bí ti Ọbásanjọ́. Ìgbà ilẹ̀ máa mọ ibi tára yín máa kù sí. On the borders again, before we go, we're just about 11 minutes before we leave the broadcast. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. We continue to pray for the leader of the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whether you hate him whether you dislike him, whether you disagree with his views, Bola Tinubu government must find solution between these Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. If you think that Simon Ekpa is joking, let me tell you, Simon Ekpa is not joking. Simon Ekpa have many stakeholders within the Biafra that are ready any day, anytime, just like we are ready any day, anytime for IGBOHO. Tebamo, I'm telling you now, don't joke with these two individuals. These two individuals, IGBOHO and Nnamdi Kanu, are the voice of our new generation. These two are well loved by millions of followers. They just need to give the signal, and that's all. One has been held incommunicado, and that is why Simon Ekpa has taken charge. If Nnamdi Kanu comes out, Simon Ekpa wants to see him outside Nigeria and let Nnamdi Kanu continue whatever direction he wants to go. I know from the meeting we had with Nnamdi Kanu, he's not joking, regardless of whether he's in the custody of the DSS. I will not say more than that. Nnamdi Kanu is not joking. If you think IGBOHO is joking, IGBOHO is not joking. I will not say more than that. But it is up to every one of us out there to think of the future that we are talking about. The future of our borders, which is the topic for tonight. These two are concerned about those futures. We're not talking about the future in Nigeria anymore. Every part of Nigeria, we don't have to be there. Tabani system tiwa, I don't have to even go to Igbo land. I stay within my own geographical space. I don't have to go to the north. Even as we are in Nigeria, in Yamelo no yilo lo se north. In Yamelo no lo si le Igbo. Sheba kuku tini wa kuku tale fun ile Igbo. So why do you want to go there? Tebele she business, certain business in the north. So why do you want to go there? We understand some of you are born in the north, so there's nothing we can do to that. But how many Yoruba people will leave Lagos State and be going to Kano to go and do what? Yes, some we do, but we are talking about in large proportion numbers. So Awakuro ni Ogun State, Awanu lo relocate lo si Sokoto, kilo wa kiri. Kilo wa Sokoto to fe lo mo ni Sokoto. Kilo wa ni Bauchi, kilo wa ni Zamfara. Even Tabani gold in Zamfara, do you think that the gold is for you? They will massacre you and kill you off. Not everybody will go to Anambra and stay there and live there. And not everybody will go to Enugu. Yes, they might be coming down to the southwest because maybe there's opportunity in the southwest. That's why they're coming down. There's nothing we can do to that. But we can control that migration when we have a system that is working. But presently, we do not have that system that is working. So if you think that these two, you will shut their voice, you cannot. Because we are the voice for them. I want a voice one, and I, plus millions of people like that are ready any day, anytime when they make that calling call. Just like the Ukrainians were heading back. I was in West London, Moriwon. Some of them have died, you know that. for the fact that they were living in a society that is comfortable. They left here and went back to fight. Whether the war is whatever it is not our business. But the Ukrainians left whatever they were doing here. Do you know that some of them have died in that movement? From London, from America, from wherever they were. Even ẹni tó ń ṣe ọmọ Ukraine, ẹ rántí pé àwọn Nigerians gan lọ register pé àwọn máa lọ jà fún Ukraine. So if you think that you can shut down the self-determination movement, you can slow it down, but you cannot stop it, because it is an inalienable right for the Biafra, the Arewas, and the Yorubas, and any other person that wants to be free. Tinubu has maximum 8 years. Well, big Daku so pon fi lo se third term. Oh no more. In 8 years, it will be trying in the first 4 years to resolve the economic damage that the same party has done, which was Buhari Olori Buruku, dead or alive. You don't even know whether he's alive, whether he's dead. But what we can say is that Tinubu is trying to rectify the damage for ẹni tó sponsor in 2015, Olori Buruku Buhari, destroy the economy. So Tinubu has started a journey to rectify the borders, the economy, the security, the welfare, the inflation, many problems in this gigantic country called Nigeria. And you think that it can resolve everything in that time frame? By next year now, we say Tinubu is currently 1 year in power. 2 years. Third year, fourth year, third year is campaigning for another second term. So, Mokia Intewa Lori TikTok, thanks for joining. And as we leave you again tonight, let us reflect back to the reality. And what is the reality? The reality is, can we sustain in a Nigeria that will protect our borders, the smallest part of the border, even if it's ito ma jẹ́ pé ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ tó ń ṣe pé mọ́tò, kàmá ìtí sọ tó mi. Mo kí bàbá wa Ismail Gold, mo kí ní Lagos State, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin member APC, PDP, Labour Party àti AAC. Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀nà, my brother, comrade. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Ogun State. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Ọ̀yọ́ State, Ọ̀ṣun State. Your governor is having a great time, you know. I love him. I think he has a good spirit. But Nigeria cannot fix the problem of Yoruba land. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ l'Ekiti State, all the way to Ondo State, Kogi State, and Kwara. Mo kí bàbá wa David Adegoke. We are not Yoruba people that hate Yorubas. We are concerned Yorubas that want the best for the Yorubas, so that we can live side by side, argue with each other, fight with each other, say, and take ourselves to courts in Yoruba land. In Yoruba land court, not Nigerian court. Do business. Work together, scientists, technicians, engineers, solve future problems. That is the kind of society I want to live. I don't want to live in a society where I'll be looking at my back. My name is OLAMILEKAN. Thanks so much for joining the conversation. We'll be out again, some other time from tomorrow. As I leave you in the hands of Eledumare, we pray for Nnamdi Kanu very well. He's not doing very well. But IGBOHO is strong in mind. There's nothing wrong with him. To all the koikimedia team, we love you, we appreciate you for the great work you're doing for humanity. It might be very difficult now. Eshisuru. We will expand at the right time, when we have the right territory to be able to do so. Nigeria is not that territory to be able to do so right now. So we're working with the little that we have, with the little resources. But our message of hope for self-determination will never be stopped. Nobody can take that away from me. I told you that 3 years ago. I will be your last man standing. And on that note, shout out to every one of you. Bye for now. All right, Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.